Good evening, and welcome to tonight's episode of Arcane Adventures. As always, before we jump into tonight's episode, we do have a few session announcements to get through. The first being your weekly reminder that we have quiz questions available every Tuesday and Friday under the post section of our YouTube channel. You can head on over to test all of your knowledge about the lore of Arcane Adventures, the world of Ilethia that we play in, our campaign adventures, and all the little things in between them, things that I write down that my players may or may not ever know, but maybe you will. We also have shorts releasing every Tuesday and Friday that highlight the most iconic moments of our session episodes for your laughs and enjoyments on the internet. So go check that out. Also, do you need a recap? Of course you do, because we just spent Chapter 9. It was 16 long sessions. Great ones, though, jam-packed full of all adventures, combat, and political intrigue all across the continent of Phenorbia. So you're in luck, though, if you need that recap, because we'll have our Chapter 9 recap video available starting Wednesday, May 6th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you can go catch that recap. This will be episode 1 of Chapter 10. We're starting over the adventure, guys. I'm sorry. And then we will, you guys watch that recap for Chapter 9 and join us again as we pursue this next chapter of our Lorem Ipsum campaign. However, though, the adventure continues in tonight's episode, so let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Arcane Adventures. And welcome back. Last we left off, Lorem Ipsum had arrived at Cascadamp's spire and ventured with Relyn Vost following in the footsteps of 2 Waveguard soldiers down a spiral staircase and arriving at the underwater ballroom. Now they had encountered Chancellor Inthaden Namigoth in deep reflection and likely distress at the pending war between Provonere and Escapia, likely just days away. But before we were to dive into any explicit or highly, classified, very, world-changing documentation or information that we, as adventurers, have uncovered along our adventures in the last couple of months, we decided to do a quick security check, and Altrix has created a revolutionary device to be used in this particular case, a electromagnet that promptly stuck to the shoulder of Chancellor Inthaden Namigoth, revealing that she was not her real self, but in fact a mechanical. Combat promptly ensued, joined by 2 additional duplicate mechanicals of the Chancellor, so a 3-prong approach from them, and Lorem Ipsum had to swiftly divide their attention to not only handle the fact that the Chancellor Prime had decided to begin a detonation sequence, but also combat the other 2 at the same time. Everything was all fine, well, at least as best you can do in a time-crunched bomb situation, until a unfortunately timed sonic boom and a small little trigger did in fact send a spiral fracture up the windows, which subsequently caused the structural integrity of the underwater ballroom, well and beautifully designed, but perhaps did not consider that the pressure of such force of water on the other side might cause a structural problem, and the ballroom subsequently began to flood with water. Now, Vellmon was able to open a rift to the plane Guyana with his sword, Shoni, and that did absorb some of the water, and then he drew his final breath in that moment as well, as water gushed into the chamber, as Altrix was subsequently beginning to sever the connections of magical energy between the Chancellors and the real Chancellor elsewhere, and also stop the detonation countdown. As water floods the chamber, Genevieve and Marek grab Vellmon's body, and all of us retreat to the upper floor of the underwater ballroom, now soon to be filled with water ballroom. And Altrix hands Paloma a device that he acquired in Akadon known as a volatile core, which precisely at 30 seconds post Vellmon's last breath did she revive him. And Altrix then grabbed him and pulled him back into the water, overlying the rift that he had just opened, to close the rift, promptly stopping whatever might have been trying to crawl out of a negative energy plane. It's probably fine, though. Don't worry about it. And we escaped the underwater ballroom with Relyn Vost and had to then explain to the Waveguard, who looked at us as if we were traitors, those that had committed treason in killing the head of state of the Union of Provonere here in her own palace. Instead, we had to explain what had actually happened, and thanks to the authority of Relyn Vost and a little bit of explanation from Lorem Ipsum, at least we're able to persuade the Waveguard. For now, I suppose. Now, Relyn Vost then revealed to all of you that a problem existed in the structure of the administration of the Union of Provonere, in that given any other normal time in the past thousands of years that the Union of Provonere has been at peace, that the Chancellor's powers would have simply been ceded to the Aquatoria until they could elect and appoint another Chancellor. However, given the recent signing of the War Powers Act that occurred just a few days prior to all of these events transpiring in a time of war, as is one fast approaching, the Admiral of the Waveguard would instead assume responsibilities of the Chancellor should the existing one be unable to continue service. That falls currently, to our knowledge, to the role of Admiral Thicket, which we're not quite sure where he is right now, but I expect that we'll find out today. Elsewhere, though, we were told to return to the Grand Pearl Hotel to get a good night's rest following a wonderful level up bestowed by an ever so gracious game master to my wonderful players. No, I'm kidding. I flatter myself because no one else. No, I'm kidding. But at least we will return in that scene in just a moment. But before we pick up there, one member of Lorem Ipsum has snuck away from the group, that of Altrix Moxicorol. It is still the wee hours after these events have transpired in the aftermath that Altrix has returned to the Cascadance Spire, broken off from the group, and is pursuing a different course of action. So I suppose we'll open with our scene there. Altrix, what are you doing?
I'm going for a swim.
A swim indeed. Altrix, you plunge feet first into the Union conduit, the very channel that had flooded the ballroom just moments ago as you began to swim downwards. Now, bestowed by whatever abilities you gained in Akadon, can breathe underwater, so you no longer have to worry about exhausting your oxygen supply. As you swim down, you pass by these shattered fragments of stone and iron that have bent inwards at the force of water pressing through, and have found yourself amidst the underwater ballroom, now fully submerged by water flooding in from the conduit. At the bottom of this slightly murky water, but mostly clear, you find the bodies of the Chancellor Mechanicals that kind of remain in disarray amongst the ballroom floor, amidst rubble and tossed over tables, everything kind of just slowly adrift at the bottom of this underwater chamber.
I guess I'm going to begin with just kind of beginning to analyze these bots. One thing I want to first learn, is there a difference between Chancellor Prime and the other two?
Sure. I think just giving it a general look over, you realize that they are all in fact the same.
Gotcha.
However, I should clarify that only two of the mechanical bodies are able to actually be looked over, that being Chancellor Prime, that we have just kind of colloquially referred to as, and the other Chancellor that fell out of the sky, knocked out from Genevieve and Pura. Because the other Chancellor that the second one that you had stopped from its detonation cycle, has been crushed by a giant piece of rubble that has fallen in from the ceiling, and there instead remains a giant kind of splat of oil that has been marked into the floor, kind of mixing slowly with the water. And that body will not be recoverable by any means.
That's how you know it was the different one.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, with that, I guess I want to leave one to be recovered by the authorities. So in that case, I will simply kind of take hold of one of these corpses and with a brief flash disappear into the siphon with it.
Okay. Now, just to, not that they are necessarily different, but just to clarify, which of the two bodies that are available are you in fact recovering?
I would say not Chancellor Prime.
Okay, we'll take Chancellor C then. That is fine with me. I do think Altrix, as you are you kind of vanish into the siphon just temporarily, but on your passing, you catch with your passive perception of 10 a single portion of the Chancellor B, I suppose, that had been crushed by this debris, and that being her legs that are just kind of sticking out and up underneath from under the boulder, and that they're just kind of hanging out there. But then you disappear into the siphon with Chancellor C's mechanical body.
Okay. Kind of once in the siphon, kind of bring it over to effectively a drying rack.
Sure.
Setting it up on top, making sure to reach inside, and if I recall correctly, Chancellor C we at least did not kill in the combat. So
Correct.
as a precaution, we'll just kind of reach in and like unplug its power unit or whatever
Sure.
the equivalent of that would be.
That is fine. You sever a connection
Making
after
sure
you'd
it
already...
doesn't like reboot inside here.
Sure. Yes, after already severing the arcane connection, the tether to the real Chancellor, you are able to reach into what is functionally the nervous system, the brainstem, and just kind of pluck it and separate the wiring so that it does not continue to act.
Then with that, I think I'll, quickly return back into the underwater chamber. And so you said the one that was crushed, its legs are sticking out?
Yes, its legs are kind of sticking out, but the rest of its body has been crushed.
Well, now this is an interesting idea. Can I salvage those legs?
I think you can certainly... if you were to do a passive tinkering tool check, so that would be 10 plus your proficiency in tinkering,
Gotcha.
What would that number come out to be?
23.
Oh, yes. I think you are easily able to salvage the legs. So you get about from just below where the knees would be and down and get both of those legs and are able to salvage those. Just below the knee.
Now, kind of taking these pits. I've taken a look at these mechanicals for some time. And now I'm going to do something I normally don't do in session, ask you something as a DM.
Okay.
What would making a more natural leg for Sizik look like?
I think first you're going to need to pull out the wiring on the inside, or at least reconfigure it to be integrated with the nervous system. Now, I will admit that is much harder and more complex to do, even in our real world, but magic does exist here in Alethea, so at least there is some possibility in that regard, though it would take a little bit more difficulty to accomplish. But other than that, you'd have to remove the inside of that. I also think, Altrix, with a passive investigation of 19 that you have, I think you are aware that the glyphs of flying that were embedded on the feet of Chancellor Prime and this Chancellor you've just recovered, but not the full body that you have brought into the siphon, were still intact. The other one was destroyed by Genevieve and Pura. And I think your brain begins to turn its own cogs, no pun intended, of course, as you are not a mechanical that we're aware of, and instead could possibly craft some semblance of a winged boots for Sizik if you wanted to go that route as well.
Noted. That I will not putting the legs into the siphon, but literally stuff them in a bag with the feet hanging out.
Yep, got it.
We'll just kind of make his way back out of the room through the hole in the glass.
Okay.
Once he is surfaced on the water, we'll activate his wings unit and basically fly back to the forgetting the name of it. It was like something Pearl.
The Grand Pearl Hotel, yes.
Grand Pearl. Okay.
Yes.
Fly back to the Grand Pearl. Yeah. Just go straight back there.
Okay. You catch up about the same time that the rest of your party has begin to kind of filter into their rooms. Now, all of you, just to remind you, these rooms store or hold the capacity to hold 2 people comfortably. They have 2 beds in each one, and therefore all of you have a collective total of 4 rooms. You can decide how you're dispersed in that regard, and that would leave someone with a single extra bed if they wanted it. But these, again, are very lavish rooms. They have a full water-working bathroom. There's a bottle of wine and champagne, fresh fruit set out for all of you. And again, for those of you of Lorem Ipsum that have been here before, it is very much a little bit of a nicer upgrade than what you had last time. And for Genevieve and Marek, this might be the nicest inn that you ever stayed in. As all of you begin to get ready for bed, I will open the floor to all of you, though, if there's any possibility that anybody has anything that they want to say to one another, any interactions you want to have before all of you retire for this evening. Okay. Well, in that regard, then, all of you can go ahead and, again, take that long rest, much well-deserved, and we awake just before dawn the following morning. It is now Ukixis 4th.
Who's
In the
kicking you?
early... What?
Who's kicking you?
Ukixis.
Why'd they kick
You kick me, apparently. It's fine.
You deserve
I'm
it.
used to it. Rancor and Vellmon are going to die today.
Rancor's
no,
already dead. Fuck off.
Is he? No, I kid. In the early hours here at the Grand Pearl Hotel, all of you getting enough night's rest to classify as a long rest, find yourselves gathering your things, though you didn't have much time to unpack the night before, and have returned to the lobby of the Grand Pearl Hotel, just in time to witness Relyn Vost, early here already, that has arrived at the Grand Pearl and is speaking with the attendant, Opalina Caithmere. And that is where we will open officially with tonight's episode. Welcome to Chapter 10, Fractured Fronts, Episode 1, Changing Tides, or as the cast has asked me to unofficially title the episode, Return to Provonere 2, Electric Boogaloo.
It is the official name.
No, it is not, but we can officially refer to it as that in this session. Relyn Vost is speaking again with Opalina Caithmere. This is a public conversation, as all of you overhear. I do not think you need to roll anything to listen into this conversation. You simply hear Relyn Vost continuing an existing phrase. Inthi is missing, and it is going to lead to several consequential events that are beyond my control. You and Inthi were good friends, and please to buy us some time. I wish that you could keep the reservations of Lorem Ipsum that stayed here the night before off of your records. All of you watch as Miss Caithmere wants to pry further, but does not, recognizing that Relyn's face is distraught and probably one that has not slept since you last saw her yesterday. And Opalina agrees, and the conversation ends there. About that same time, Relyn acknowledges all of you stepping into this chamber, coming down the large stairwells into the foyer of the hotel. I'm glad all of you are up. Is everyone okay? Everybody intact?
Well, for more or less.
Okay. I have secured our departure. We need to leave quite promptly, though.
Well, I think it's fair to say our business here is concluded. Unless, turning to Genevieve and Mark, you all had more to do.
Nope.
In that case, before we leave, we need to gather the rest of our folks, but otherwise, regarding the Chancellor, just to clarify, we did not confirm whether or not the location that the Chancellor was at was the same as the others.
That is correct. We have not confirmed that.
Correct. Didn't really have time to analyze the arcane connections.
Given the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking to Relyn at this point, we didn't have time to analyze the arcane connections of the duplicates. However, it could be quite likely that the real Chancellor is in the same location as the others.
I do not want to be pessimistic, but what if she's not alive?
Well, in order for the duplicates to work, they must be alive.
I suppose that's reassuring.
We did our best to ensure that the destruction of the duplicates did not send a signal to then kill the Chancellor, which I believe we were successful in. That being said, we'll have to confirm personally. On which note, I know that these politic things aren't exactly my forte, but I do understand that Provonere has, or rather, Provonere has some sort of alliance with Provias, and we
Yes.
believe that in Provias is where they're being held.
I see. I'm not ending or abruptly cutting off our conversation. However, I would like to continue it when we are in a more secure location. Not that I do not trust Inthi. However, I know the Waveguard will soon be in our footsteps, and I would prefer to leave her with plausible deniability. So if all of you will gather your things, and we can depart as soon as you're ready.
Very well. I will go get kind of looking back towards openly Caithmere. The others. Is it going to be same pickup as last time?
No, it is a much more secure one.
Gotcha. Well. I guess everyone could just tell me where to meet them. Unless, I honestly, probably Paloma might be faster than me.
I can do it, yeah.
If you want to go fetch, again, the others.
Okay. And then she is out the door. A dust cloud in her
Wonderful.
shape in her place.
A sonic boom. No, I'm kidding. Paloma, as you rush across the city, you have, correct me if I'm wrong, have you been to Grand Magister?
No, actually,
not.
you don't. Only Altrix knows where to go.
She's already gone.
Great.
Use
Great.
the chatter crystal or something.
Perfect. I think this is less a matter of you finding them. I think relaying with chatter crystals is fine. Paloma, if you will just give me a D20 investigation check. This is not to determine if you succeed or fail, but more of the degree at which and how fast you accomplish that. Lower numbers mean that it's going to take longer for you to find the others, and higher numbers are better. So
Just gonna run through every single house to look
Yes.
for
I could
them.
do it.
Like Flash, just.
yeah,
12.
12. Okay, a little bit better than average. Paloma, it takes you probably an hour and a half or so
Sweet.
to locate the others.
I can't ask for directions.
No, this is with getting
This is
directions.
with directions?
Yeah, this is with directions.
Here's the thing: we get you like to the neighborhood, but
Yeah, it's like you're in the general vicinity, and it's like, oh crap,
No, I mean
there's
like
a lot.
Then you have to
I can't
remember
ask
what
someone
we
on
told
the
you.
street, do you know where this is?
I don't think they have addresses.
Yeah, I mean they do, but they're not widely used, other than the postal service. I'll say it takes an hour instead of an hour and a half. I'll give you that. Paloma, you find yourself in the general vicinity, though, of the Hydrostructure Command Station, where it does kind of dawn on you the history of Grand Magister Ulthos Roanwin, Altrix's grandfather, prior to becoming the Grand Magister of the Collegium Tidal, was in fact one of the engineers that built the hydrostructure of Oshivester and Hydroxyflexin. And so his house is in that general vicinity. Upon arrival there, it again is just a bit after dawn. It's probably sometime between 7 and 8 a.m., probably 7:30ish, honestly, by the time that you get to the front door of this estate.
Okay. I knock on the door.
A very tired-looking Daikia opens like a slit through the window or a slit through the door and looks out, and then realizing
sees
it's you
nothing
promptly.
because Paloma is so short. And then
Sure. Sees nothing, and yeah,
closes
maybe
the
just
slit,
closes
she
it.
knocks
Yeah,
again.
yeah, and then opens it promptly and peers out to recognize that it's you. It opens the door to welcome you inside. Good morning, Paloma. It's quite early. Is everything all right?
Yeah, we're just trying to leave as quickly as possible.
Is everything okay?
Lots of stuff happened last night. We...
You don't have to go into details.
Okay.
I'll ask you more in a little bit. Where are we headed?
To an airship to leave and go back to Provonere.
Okay.
Again.
I will get Zeros. Let me say goodbye to my father and gather my things for just a second. And you could just stay here for a moment.
Okay.
And she leaves you to promptly go say goodbye to her father, and Zeros and her return within the next 5 minutes or so. They have all of their
if there was
things.
anything not nailed down in here.
There is a portrait.
I'm not stealing a portrait.
That is. You asked if there's nothing. It's not nailed down. It's nailed into the wall. But that is the most immediate thing in the vicinity that you can probably think is worth of any sentimental value. Everything else is like small knickknacks and tchotchkes and nothing of significant note. Just little house decorations that don't really mean much and aren't really any significant value to you, at least. Yes. But Daikia does return with Zeros in tow. Okay, well, I suppose we should head back to where everyone else is. And I think, given the rough directions from Altrix, as all of you are traversing with Relyn Vost, can direct that to Paloma, using the second charge on the title crystals for today to give her directions, as all of you begin to reconvene at an area that, for reference on your map of Oshi, Western Hydroxylvexen, is number 8. Which is Cascadance Heights. It's across the Union Conduit from the Cascadance Spire, the palace that all of you were at just the night prior. And Relyn Vost kind of darts into an alleyway, looking quickly to see if anyone is following all of you, which she does not believe anyone is, and leads all of you to a abandoned, semi-constructed tower that she pushes in a door that says permanently suspended construction on it, and steps inside, ushering all of you in and closing the door behind her. All of you follow her up 7 flights of stairs to the 7th floor, where a familiar airship, for most of you, is docked here, that of Captain Ivory Callow. You can board whenever you're ready. I would prefer to leave as soon as possible, and I will explain more in detail as we get in the air.
Kira's going straight to the bar.
Sure. Fair enough.
Vellmon goes in, or gets on immediately, and goes to a room.
Mariko do the same. Not the one that Vellmon's in, though.
Sure. I think all of you, safe to say, begin boarding the airship. It doesn't take you long to get on board, and Captain Ivory Callow, the Thrycreen individual, begins to pull the ship into the sky outside of this tower. Yes, Genevieve, go ahead.
I was gonna say before we take off, just not making like a full-on active check, but like Genevieve's a little sussed out with everything that has happened. Is there kind of either using like passive, or I can roll something just to check like the integrity of the ship, having hijacked one of these before?
Sure. Integrity as in structural integrity, or integrity as in the morale aboard the vessel?
More like any signs of tampering to the airship.
Yes. I'll call that your passive investigation. I'll take a 13 as you kind of look over that. That's what you have on your sheet. And just kind of giving it a brief look over. You're not super well versed in airships, given that you don't really fly one, but though you have had a little bit of experience in the past, I think as you look it over, it does not look like it has been tampered with.
Cool. she'll board then and just kind of
Okay.
wait for direction.
Sure. As Captain Ivory Callow pulls the airship into the air, and all of you begin to watch as the city skyline of Oceavestra and Hydroxylvexen begins to vanish beneath you, getting smaller and smaller as you ascend into the clouds. Relyn Vost calls all of you back, kind of at large, on the main deck of this airship. I apologize to all of you for the layers of secrecy that has occurred this morning. Before Provonere and Provias reached their deal regarding Provonere, Provonere started construction of a skyport tower of its own. Of course, as you can tell, it was never finished. That's where we just were. But hopefully that has provided us enough cover to let anyone draw the conclusion that we have fled town. Things already don't look great as they are. I'm sure as you can understand why. And the last thing we need is a newsie or a reporter spinning this story into something that it's not.
So what's the plan now?
Right. She looks at the group and then looks at the other Blue Dragonborn standing in the midst of this group. Before continuing, I don't believe that we have formally met. I am Relyn Vost, and who are you? Daikia looks over at all of you, Altrix, a little confused as perhaps Yule did not provide enough clarification on who this is. I am Daikia. Yep.
That's Altrix's mom.
Altrix, you feel eyes burning into your head. Another secret you've kept from Relyn Vost, not only that you died in Akadon, but also that you have...
The secret that he has a mother?
not that you have a mother. The secret that she is who Relyn Vost is realizing this is. Daikia. As in Daikia Rowanwin. Yes, that is correct. Altrix, you didn't tell me that your mother was famous, I suppose.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't know she was either for a long time.
Right. Okay. Any other secrets that you want to enlighten me on that you brought your mom here and, I didn't get a formal introduction? No, we can talk about that in a little bit.
I mean, I didn't say anything earlier because there was other people around. So.
No, it's fine. We will. Everything's okay. The plan, as the status of things exist as they are. The Aquatoria is already in session this morning to evaluate the problems, the situations that exist as they are. Currently, to my knowledge, they are only aware of what the Wave Guard has informed them from what we told them last night. However, I do have additional news. Early this morning, a letter arrived from Hestara. Local Wave Guard City Captain Marvin wrote that a quite troubling situation has been transpiring in Hestara as of the day prior. Including that Escapian naval vessels have already blockaded the port of Hestara and cut off access to the river Hestara, in which he describes as a display of military force. From what last I heard, Admiral Thicket and the Phoenarian Navy, at least the Alpha Fleet of the Phoenarian Navy, is expected to arrive in Hestara sometime later today. Also, to my knowledge, Admiral Thicket has already been informed of the existing unknown status of the Chancellor, Incident Nomigoth, and following the meeting of the Aquatoria today, presumably whenever that concludes, is set to be named as Acting Chancellor officially in her stead. I am quite certain that the Aquatoria will eventually, probably sooner rather than later, come to investigate all of us, myself included. And so whenever that happens, because it certainly will happen, please prepare yourselves and also be honest with them. I understand that they are politicians and that, given recent situations, may be not the best thing to put your faith in. I just do not want them to suspect us of malicious intent, terrorism, or treason. I may not be able to speak to all of their differing perspectives, but have worked in their sphere of influence long enough to at least understand partially their motives and opinions, and also can confidently say that as a group, at least, I believe that they mean well for the influence of this nation and the democracy that is built upon it. I also, the last thing, I know this is very long-winded, but I suppose for my career, at least, has in this regard come to a quite swift and decisive end. I resigned my position at the Spire this morning, citing that I failed to pay attention to the warning signs that the Chancellor may have been replaced and did not take quicker or more informed actions. Lorem Ipsum, I apologize. I am deeply sorry that I did not take all of your concerns more seriously than what I have as of last night. And I'm also even more sorrowful for the recent turn of events that has led us to this particular moment. It seems that in us collectively trying to do the right thing, that we have lost the battle. But I do suppose there is a war to be fought still, both literally and for us likely more figuratively. If you would all have me, though, I would be honored to accompany your efforts in Provonere with whatever that may entail.
Yeah, you can be employed with the rest of us, or unemployed, because none of us have jobs either.
I have a job.
Oh yeah, I guess Marek technically has a job.
Does being a noble count as a job?
There's
Yes,
absolutely
and also,
no way.
And also being an adventurer does count as a job.
Okay, but you don't pay taxes as an adventurer, and there.
We just commit a lot of tax evasion as
you just commit a lot of tax evasion.
There is taxes, but we're not with a guild, so no one checks it.
Yeah, that's true.
Being a noble is not a job. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Like kings is like a job, I think.
Okay, but that isn't a separate thing. We just live in a big house. How is that a job?
We protect the city.
Yeah, I kind of have a job in the big house, but selling alcohol.
I also, if you count a job as making money, I also have a job.
Making money does not necessarily equal job. I make money. I have no job.
I mean, I am. I remember I read this magazine. I'm like the number 12 acid salesman in the continent right now. It doesn't even have my name. It just says Blue Dragonborn randomly distributing acid.
Well, again, like I said, whatever those endeavors may entail, I would be delighted to accompany all of you. Most of you are familiar with the traverse back to Provonere. It will be a few days to spend some time aboard the airship. I need to probably get some sleep. I haven't slept since a few days ago, actually. And I will let all of you figure out what you need to do in the interim time as well. Yeah, and then she begins to step towards the lower deck where she can snag a room and fall asleep.
I should probably take care of a few things before we get too far into our journey. He says, pulling out the magnet.
You should also maybe check on her. Like, her whole life just fell apart.
I think ensure the ship is not currently inhabited with any duplicates is priority number one. I'll talk to her after that.
Well, make sure you find time, I guess.
Women love being considered second priority.
Right?
This is when we find out the captain is a duplicate.
Yes, another combat ensues.
Also, make sure that you definitely check the bartender too.
I mean, I was gonna do everyone.
All right, but specifically the bartender and the captain. I think are the two most likely.
Just to be sure, considering I didn't see all of you last night. Goes around the group.
Thankfully, no one is a mechanical.
Gotcha. And I guess I'll begin the process of going throughout the entire crew
Sure. It is not that difficult to do that, as most of the crew is not aboard this flight. The captain is here, as well as a few engineers to keep the ship running on its own. But there is no extra staff, no bartender aboard the vessel, no attendants to change the sheets in your rooms. It seems that Relyn Vost specifically asked for utmost privacy, if at all possible. But thankfully, Altrix, as you go through the engineers, you do not find any mechanicals. And when you finally opened the cockpit door to step in to find the Thrycreen, Captain Ivory Callow, she, with all four of her arms attached to different, two attached to the wheel, and one attached to a lever, and one attached to a different dial on the other side. Good day, mate.
Is that her accent?
Yes.
I do not remember that. That's crazy.
Yes, it is. What can I do you for?
Just making sure. He says
Sure.
slowly with the stick.
What is that?
A stick.
Oh, I see that. What's on the end of it?
Just metal.
With the intent of accomplishing?
Ideally, no harm.
Make a persuasion check. Not a high DC, but that's a little bit ominous to be told to someone piloting a vessel.
Persuasion. 15.
15. I guess so. That's not going to interfere with her work. She is not a mechanic.
All right, cool. All right, that's solved.
All right, have fun.
Now with that solved, number 2 priority, I make a vial of acid for the day. Number 3, I'll go below deck and see if Relyn Vost is even awake.
Sure. In the interim, though, while Altrix is doing all of those things, it does take some time to check the existing crew on board. What are the rest of you, if anything, would you like to do while aboard the vessel?
I actually would like to go to the captain. What is that room? What is it called?
The cockpit.
The cockpit. Thank you. I want to go there and watch the captain fly again.
Sure. Refresh my memory, Paloma. Did you gain proficiency in flying last time, or did that go horribly awry?
I don't think I went horribly awry. I just don't think I rolled high enough to gain
proficiency. Just went mildly awry. Okay, understood. If you would like to continue taking lessons from Captain Ivory Callow, she will delight in teaching you again. That is up to you to decide.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Paloma is taking flying lessons. Anybody else going to do anything?
Kira would like to get to the bar and see if his favorite bartender's there.
He is not. But there are some alcoholic contents aboard, but a very minimal supply compared to what you were in view of last time.
Okay. Also, what was the name of the bartender last time?
I do not believe you asked.
I did ask, and I remember him being
then maybe
important.
You should
but I forget what it was.
If it's important, you should write it down.
Okay. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but he has appeared in either this campaign or the previous campaign. Is what I'm asking.
Jared, he has definitely appeared in this campaign.
I mean, but like, I think he was in the previous one.
I will reconcile the notes.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be right now. I'm just curious.
It was actually John Acadon.
Yeah, that was John Acadon.
You missed him.
His name.
No, it's actually John Quest.
Yeah. Father of the Quest.
That was Jimmy Glorious Bastard.
I don't have anything, Jared, as being important.
Okay, I was just curious.
You are okay.
I remember like there was definitely one.
Anna can correct me if
No,
I
I'm
am
not
wrong. But
finding
I
anything
do.
either.
I'm not finding anything.
Nameless
Maybe
bartender.
it was just a familiar name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there was one bartender though that was a cameo from last campaign. I don't remember. which
Riley
one it was, though.
Ronaldo?
It might have been.
That
not
that did
bartender.
happen, but was not aboard this vessel. Different airship. And yes,
Okay.
that you would be correct. I do not believe you asked the name of this bartender aboard
Okay.
this airship.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Pura would then like to just go back to his room.
Okay.
And he
Fair
wants to do stuff in his room.
How descriptive.
He wants to
Who's-
consult his book in the room.
Okay, thank you. Consult book.
The Book of
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah, book in quotation marks.
Oh, right.
Yes. All right, very well. Anybody else? Paloma's taking flying lessons. Altrix is going below deck. Pura is headed to his room. Anybody else?
Genevieve wants to check on Vellmon.
Okay.
Wherever Vellmon has planted himself.
He has not left his room since he went in. He was not there when Relyn Vost was speaking.
She'll go there then.
Okay. And then Rek and or Sizik.
Rex just chilling in the room.
We getting attacked by angels or some shit?
No.
No, just a bunch of violins.
Yep. Sizik, anything you want to do, Sizik? Okay. All right. Well, I suppose we will pick up then with Genevieve, going to check on Vellmon. We'll start there.
When Genevieve boarded the ship, would she have seen Vellmon go in a direction? Would she kind of have a general understanding of where he went?
From the main deck, there's only really two directions to go, and that's either to the cockpit, which he did not go, and then there's the downstairs like hatch that leads down into the lower levels, where the storage rooms are, the rooms are, and then also like the kitchen / cafeteria, if you want to call it that, and then below that is like a storage hole and the engine room.
Okay. She'll just make her way to where she believes. I mean, she could probably kind of get a general idea. Everyone's kind of going to chill out, so she
I don't think
probably
it takes
has a
you
general
too
idea.
long to figure out where he probably is and find a room that is likely his.
Vellmon, when she gets there, is the door closed?
Yes.
She's gonna knock on the door the same way she did when she checked on him at the chateau.
There is no response.
Vellmon, it's me. She's gonna knock again. Vellmon, I know you were alive the last time I saw you. Hopefully nothing's changed. Does she hear anything?
What's your passive perception?
14.
14. You can hear some movement or shuffling from behind the door, but that's about it.
She's just gonna kind of take a deep breath and look around, just consider whether or not she will invade his choice to have privacy. And she goes to grab the doorknob and she hesitates and she kind of pulls back and understand a lot has happened. But I just hope that I could, I don't know, just check on you. Seeing you dead was not something not something that I don't think I emotionally prepared myself for that. I'm glad you're not. Yeah. I'm just glad you're okay. And she'll wait for a moment just to see if he responds. She kind of just nods. And she's going to leave her loot at the door. When you're ready to hear something other than your own thoughts, come find me. She's gonna leave. And she's gonna make her way to wherever Marek has made his home for the next few days.
The room directly across the hall. Just turn around. It's like, oh, there he is. I got him. No, you're totally fine. We will pan, however, to Paloma, who has arrived at the cockpit not long out after Altrix has come in here. Good morning.
Hi. Could you?
Oh, Paloma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here for flying lessons.
Yeah. I'll try again.
Got it. It's all right. Have you had any practice in the last time we spoke?
No.
All right, okay. So see, what happened last time is you pulled the lever and we descended in altitude by about 800 or so feet. We don't want to pull that lever, all right?
Okay.
We want to just kind of keep the ship going steady, but I am more than welcome to, keep you in here, and we'll just kind of go around that, if that's all right with you.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful. And Paloma, I'm going to have you roll a d20, and you will add, we'll add half of whatever your dexterity modifier is to this roll.
All right.
She's gonna do it again.
Half of dex, so that's gonna be a 16.
A 16. Okay. Much improved compared to last time. The ship does not plummet at any degree, but instead begins to maintain a solid course. And I think, Paloma, as you begin to, you kind of are a little caught up in the fact that you are looking out and all that is ahead of you is blankets of clouds and a nice early morning light from Aneris is kind of beaming in, almost highlighting this white and gray blanket as it rolls underneath the ship. And by the time you catch yourself and look away from the beautiful view in front of you, you realize that Captain Ivory Callow has let go of the steering wheel and all of the controls, and that for at least in that brief moment, you were piloting the ship entirely by yourself.
Paloma immediately jerks the wheel. The ship starts
Yeah.
Everything goes to shit.
Yeah. Yes. Oh no! Oh no! Yes. Yeah.
She freaks out. She's like, "Why would
It's
you
all
let
right.
me do that?"
Getting better. Practice is an improvement. So I suppose over the next couple of days, we'll keep you on here, and maybe you'll be proficient in flying these types of things by the time we get back.
I hope so. I met someone who was a pilot back at Provonere, and I was kind of hoping to show her what I learned.
Interesting. Got a name?
Guess? Hold on. Yet I can't remember. Because it was said exactly once.
One time.
What episode was that?
It was a episode.
It was an episode. That is correct. Thank you.
Yep, it was an episode.
I think it
Paloma forgot her name. Yeah, Paloma forgot. I met someone back at Provonere as a pilot. I don't know her name, but
I totally forgot her name.
It's okay.
We could just, I said it and then we skip over it. Why? Are you trying to see if she knows her?
Yeah, I was just out of curiosity.
Okay. What do I search for this if I don't know her name?
Search for you stealing shit. Then you'll
I
probably
can't
find
just search
it.
the word steal. That's going to bring up so
It
much.
happens 50 million times this campaign.
But you
Paloma has
go in
robbed so
order
much.
of most recent.
Kiev?
Yeah, you got it. That's a natural 20. Wow. Kiev. Actually, that name kind of sounds familiar. Unipol Provonere, sound about right?
Yeah, she said she's usually operates out of that area.
I think I've done a bit of business with her. Small world.
Yeah, and she's from Kilauea too, which is weird.
Why see?
Oh, because, that's where me and my brother are from.
I suppose I'm from the Astral Sea, so, I don't really...
Yeah, you're from space.
Yeah, nothing's really weird to me, I suppose. Yeah. Did you, meet a friend, or, a friend?
You stressed that second word differently, and I'm not sure why. But she was interesting and fun to talk to, and I was hoping to see her again.
All right, I'll take it as somewhere in between the two. Got it. And she doesn't say anything further on the matter and just goes back to kind of instructing you bit by bit on the controls of this skyship. We will, though, move from this scene to Pura. Pura, you have found a nice secluded corner of the ship down in the bottom level of the ship, the hull, where there are just different different things stored in here. It's actually relatively empty for this particular voyage, so there's a lot of space to sit down here and kind of be secluded from everyone else as you pull out a book.
Pura's gonna look over and just check and make sure he's alone real quick, and he's gonna open the book.
Come back for more?
Yeah, actually, I have a question.
Well, I can answer anything.
So I have this friend, and this friend, I think is interested in another one of my friends, but I'm not really sure how I should approach this. I don't know if I should ask one of them how they feel about the other one or whatnot. But I was just wondering if you had any input on this.
All right. Now, Jared, I will ask you as a player, are you referring in a third person to yourself, or is this about a different instance?
It is not myself.
Okay, great. In that case, I think... Well, tell me a little bit more about these people, and we'll see if we can come to an arrangement of some kind of answer to your question.
Well, so they've been traveling for a while, and one of them told me this whole backstory about how they met through all this really pain and suffering, and but anyway, they're both kind of around the same age, and I don't really see why they're not together yet, but but my last conversation made me think that at least one of them likes the other.
I see. Interesting. And what do you want me to do about that?
I would just if you have any advice on how I should ask one of them if they like the other one. Or should I just go up there and be like, yo, do you like the other one? And see what happens.
Well, that depends on who your friends are. Some people like it straightforward, but usually you gotta be a little bit more below the nose, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I see. It's maybe ask them what they think about the other one.
I feel like that's a little bit
That's
direct,
a little
honestly.
too much. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Interesting.
If you need help coming up with the right words, I can probably assist you.
Yeah, like Hmm. Let me think here. Like, so like, say I got one of them alone. Like maybe I took one to like the bar or something, right? And anyway, I go up to them and I'm like, hey, like, what do you think of this person? And then but I feel like that would be too direct, right? So like, how should I like subtly,
Sure.
like maybe like get them, a little like intoxicated first, because that usually does the trick. Or should I just, go for it?
Pura, since you are looking to gain advice from this particular tome, why don't you go ahead and give me a charisma saving throw? You can't escape me.
Yes. Oh gosh, give me 1 second.
I'm convinced this whole item is just so Mason can talk dirty to Jared.
Just for Jared.
Hold on, sorry, I gotta find my good dice
Oh.
compared to my other dice.
Highly important rolls going on here.
Highly important. All right, I found it. Okay. A saving throw.
Yes, a charisma saving throw.
Okay, that's an 8.
An 8 is a failure. So, Pura, as you suggest this to this tome, you're such a genius. I mean, that would work just perfectly. I mean, absolutely astounding idea. I would never have said it better myself. Get
Really?
them drunk, ask them all the questions in the world, and you'll really find out the answers. I promise you.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that we had this conversation.
Oh, yes, you're
I'll go do that
so
right now.
wise. You're learning so fast in the ways of charisma.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, your past advice kind of worked pretty well, but I think there's still a
Thank you
lot of
very
improvement.
much.
You have a
I
long way to go,
really
so.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess. Till next time. Now, like, shut the book.
Until next time. Book closes. And we move from this scene to Altrix. Altrix, as you are knocking on the door of Relyn Vost's room, the same one that the two of you had last time. As you open the door, Relyn Vost is not asleep yet. She is sitting kind of sideways on the bed. Her feet are dangling off. And she seems to be deep in thought as she's staring at a blank wall.
Hey.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't even hear you come in.
Kind of looks down to his hand, which is still kind of outside the door, holding on to the metal pipe. That is the magnet. And, hold on. Alright, on that, he'll kind of step in, kind of nervously holding the rod. Just, I was, going around doing one last, precaution.
Sure.
Just kind of, real quick, kind of just brings it near her head.
She's not a mechanical duplicate.
Good, just, you can't be too careful.
Yeah.
It's a lot right now. With anyone could now be an enemy, and on top of all the other secrets you have to keep, the people you thought you could trust, it can never be certain.
Yeah, I get it. I watched my best friend rip her skin off in front of me. That was a sight that I don't think I'll ever forget.
Yeah, well. I suppose it doesn't mean much to say that isn't really her, but nevertheless, we kind of made our journey out to Oshivester with the goal of maybe, hitting the brakes on this whole war thing. We knew the chances were probably small, but figured we had to try.
Yeah, I hate to say that I don't think we accomplished that at all.
No. Then, I guess it is good that the, greater enemy isn't, in charge anymore. Or at least, we think so. I don't know about this Admiral Thicket fellow. Though I guess it stands to reason that he may be, well, at least not a duplicate.
I mean, given the situation at hand, I don't even know what to believe.
Well, I can't tell you what to believe, but I can tell you what I know. Is that this Asazal, the one who has been so committed to this general chaos, we're aware of his site out in the mountains and possibly in Unipole. But no matter where he runs, we're going to find him.
Okay.
He doesn't get to get away with this. All of this.
How are you doing?
I'm, fine. I think. A lot of people ask me that. As if my answer isn't supposed to be fine.
It doesn't have to be fine. I just want to know.
I know, it's just... the way people ask it, it just, implies that you're not supposed to be. And the fact that I am is... I don't know.
The fact that you are fine?
I don't know, it's... like it's wrong. That I'm supposed to be more... I don't know. Disturbed
I don't think you have to be disturbed. Or not fine, if that's how you're doing, that's good. I don't know if I share the same sentiment, or could say the same about my existing disposition, but I'm glad at least someone is doing okay.
Yeah. I'm not. There's a lot I don't know. And, sometimes I get, funny looks when I ask, certain questions about certain things. And then sometimes I'm not supposed to ask things because it's supposed to be a secret. A lot of secrets.
Yeah. I know. I wish I could say differently, but the line of work that I've been very devoted to for a very long time has been riddled with secrets.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you're the best person to ask this of, but guess I'm looking for a second opinion. Do you know what a soul is?
What a soul is? I feel like that has a lot of different answers. I don't know if I could give you all of them, but I can give you what I believe it is.
I suppose that's as good as you can get.
I think a soul is inextricably tied to the life of a person, but I don't mean it in the concept of the biological life. I mean their life, their personality, their admirations, their aspirations, their emotions, their passions, their letdowns, loss, guilt. I think a soul is tied to something beyond just what we think a soul maybe is. I know that doesn't maybe make a lot of sense, but
No,
I don't think a person's themselves without having a soul.
Take that, Zeros.
May I ask why you inquire?
Oh, it's just that, Zeros keeps saying I don't have one. So.
Because you died?
I mean, yeah, that's when they said so. But I feel fine. I don't feel like I've had any changes in my priorities or hopes, wants. Based off what you said, I guess I still have one. If that is what that is, and if it is a thing to have or lose.
I'm no expert.
Yeah.
At least you have friends, though, that are willing to tell you that they are concerned for you.
I suppose. It's a little frustrating sometimes, but I mean, whether I have one or not, I seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair enough. I'm going to try to sleep.
Gotcha. I guess I'll let you leave you to it then.
Thank you. And we begin to move away from this scene. I think we'll transition now into, instead of focusing just on today, we'll cover the next 8 or so days while aboard this airship. So if there's anything any of you want to accomplish in any of those 8 days, does not particularly be in chronological order. If there's something you just want to kind of routinely be working on, if there's a particular scene you want to have with a fellow player or with an NPC, feel free to do that. And you guys just kind of jump in whenever or with whatever you feel like you want to.
I make 8 vials of acid. And I guess while we're here, Marek, if you wanted to finish those crafting checks.
Yeah, sure. Just let me know what I need to do.
Okay. So it'd be strength plus proficiency, which should have gone up now.
Yes.
Yes?
Strength. Did my strength bonus plus my proficiency bonus?
Yeah, because it'll be
Yeah.
Smith's tools.
Yeah. It went up 1.
Okay, so what is that now?
+9.
+9. Okay. We had 5 out of the 8 checks done. With 0
Okay.
failures. It's a DC 27. So, with a +9, you can get it on an 18. And I can flash a genius it on a 13 now.
Okay.
Alright. So, I'll say go ahead and make a first check. Just the roll.
6.
6. Very cool. So that's 1 failure. I'll go ahead and give you advantage with enhanceability.
18. So 27.
Okay.
Unless you're not adding mods.
No. So 18 on the die gets you 27. Don't need to flash a genius that. So that's 1 success. Resets the failures. Do another check. Do this one flat.
17.
17 on the die?
Yep.
Flash of genius, that will make it. Last one, do this with advantage.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Do I have to go again or no?
No, you do not. One moment. I will go ahead and finalize the things for this, but I think there is something I need to check on with the crafting guide, but you can go ahead if anyone else wants to do anything.
Does Genevieve's loot stay? Does it ever move? Vellmon.
If Vellmon
Wherever.
leaves it there, it still moves.
Oh no! What the fuck? Paloma!
I was like, this is mine now, going in my filing cabinet.
I found this this pile of loot.
Pile of wood.
This
pile of
Pile of loot.
Pile of loot.
Listen, a loot is a loot.
It's an enchanted loot.
It's true. It's worth.
She's
it's worth
going,
something.
she's going
resell.
to start looking for her loot with a vengeance if she doesn't have it by the time they land the ship in Provonere. It was a loot to be borrowed.
My
not
apologies. I
stolen.
was in the bathroom.
Do you take the loot
Vellmon.
before Paloma does?
No.
Oh no!
And in fact, none of y'all see Vellmon the entire trip.
Do you have food?
I got rations.
Okay, just wanted to confirm.
No, he starves to death over the 8 days.
Yeah, Vellmon does in fact die in the room.
Does Pura play any drinking games with anybody on this trip?
The book.
Pura would like to go up to Marek at some point and invite him to the bar.
Is that it right now? Are we doing that right now?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I would accept that invite.
Are you waiting for me to do something?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
The two of
What are
you
you
are
waiting
at the
for?
bar.
Wait for something amazing to happen.
Proceed.
Yeah. Barkeep, can I get 2 whiskeys, please?
Jared, there's no barkeep on this vessel.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
I said that 3
jump over the
times.
bar. All
Jared
right.
just walking
Pura
up to
is
the bar.
also
He sees a-
schizophrenic and is talking
Yeah, he
to
sees nobody there. He's been picturing the
So used
bartender
to a
being
bar,
there.
dude.
Hey, can I get 2 whiskeys? And he's
Alright.
like, "There's nobody there, dude."
Well, if there's no one there, then Pura's gonna be the bartender. So.
Oh,
Sounds
shit.
good to me.
Yeah.
They are blacking out tonight.
No. So what would you want, Marek? I got a lot of things.
Surprise me.
Oh gosh. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'll roll.
Can you hold your
Above-
arsenic?
Above 10, it's whiskey. Below 10, it's scotch. Scotch.
I will get.
Does this count as like faking your identity? Because now he's playing the role of the bartender, and he's not the bartender.
Bruh.
There's no one here to stop him, so.
Sure. Okay, so, Pura gets 2 glasses and pours the scotch. How are you feeling, Marek? How was your time with your sister and all?
I was hoping it would go better, but she seems to be well, so I don't want to mess up her seemingly perfect life. Just fill in.
No, like maybe it's kind of
Apparently.
one. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, and you haven't seen her for 20 years, right?
It's been probably close to that. It's fuzzy. Time is fuzzy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, at least you got to see her and like they were able to take the first steps to going back into her,
Yeah.
her life and all.
I gave her some chatter crystal, so she can. I'm letting that be onto her.
I see.
If she wants a relationship.
Okay.
How are you holding up?
Great. You know, the guy that killed my family is now actually dead, so I don't really know how I feel about that yet because there's some wishy-washy kind of things the last time we were there, but you know, yeah.
Like what?
Well, like the whole like Vellmon, who used to be Rancor, killed him, and then I also tried to kill him, but then Vellmon killed him before I did.
Ooh,
And
kill steal.
yeah, it was, and but it was probably like now that I look back at it, I mean, everyone else in the party told me I shouldn't have done it, or I shouldn't have tried to do it.
Mm.
You're not there.
That is
Anyway.
inconvenient to his story. Shut up.
Yeah. It also is kind of what happened though, because we were both trying to kill him and he killed him.
No, you said that you were not gonna kill. You purposely like held back because you were like convinced
That's
not
true.
to.
That's true. Anyway,
So
I had some
I didn't steal
emotional.
your kill. You acquiesced it.
Yes. Anyway, Pura. Anyway, it was a very conflicting time for me. And but now that he's gone, I don't really have any I guess a connection back to my family. And so
What do you would say to that?
Pura takes another sip of whiskey.
Mrek will kind of jiggle his glass and take another sip too. He doesn't really know how to deal with like feelings of grief or anything like that.
Pura takes his glass and he's gonna just chug it, and he's gonna be like, "So how'd you meet Genevieve?"
Mrek's kind of taking a sip, but when Pierce says that, he he kind of like side eyes and he's like, and he finishes the glass.
Need another one? I got you.
Pull me up. Well, we first met. I was in town when she was doing a gig, and some guys were trying to heckle her from my perspective, and I thought at the time was a defenseless musician woman. I was sorely mistaken. But at the time, and we got into some pretty violent shit, man. And yeah, we kind of we got recruited to the Titanium Blade together. I don't know if anybody's really said, well, if she has told you that yet. But we did missions together here and there and stuff like that, and then right before we were kind of abandoned, acquaintances, and then grew into a friendship, and then in the Frostbitten Waste it kind of... Does he have another drink yet? Do you pour him up?
Oh yeah, no, he's just like
Okay.
continually
Yeah, he would
pouring.
kind of take a sip and companionship formed.
Oh. Interesting.
And the rest is history.
I see. Well, I'm glad that you were able to find her.
Yeah, and we are glad that we found you all.
Yeah. So what do you actually think about her, though?
I'm gonna need a couple more drinks before we talk about that, Pura.
Pura goes over to the bar, just opens up a brand new bottle. That's what I'm
They'll probably go just kind of chattering a little bit more, have a couple more drinks in, and he kind of breaks down, things are getting a little vulnerable, Marek's probably a little bit blushing at this point. He doesn't really drink that often, so, or ever really. About that question you asked earlier about Jen, Yeah. Yeah. She's something.
Yeah.
I'm fond of her.
Like really, really fond of her? Like,
yeah. But I wouldn't know the first thing on how to tell her that without worrying about her silver-tongued self turning me into a pile of mush.
oh,
Yeah. I'm honestly afraid of her, to be frank. But I think that's kind of part of the intrigue.
I understand that. But I met my Sylphie back when I was a wee lad. Like 200 years ago. So, not like that long ago, but
Yeah.
kind of long ago, We were out, we kind of grew up with each other. We were both like, kind of liked each other, kind of, but like didn't know what to do. We went fishing one day, and I caught this huge swamp cat. Yep, that's what it was. And I fell in, and then she pulled me out, and that's when I knew that she was the one for me. So, and sometimes it just happens, and you just got to be brave and take the leap.
Are you trying to be my wingman, Pura?
No, I was just curious. I mean, they all showed up, and it's like a boy and a girl, and like like your friends, but not. So, yeah, totally.
I tried to keep it my feelings a little bit closer to my chest, but maybe I'm not as concealed as I try to be.
But why do you want to be?
I don't know anything different.
It can be hard.
So I've always been. Ever since I left home, I didn't really allow myself to feel, so I kind of put it away. So meeting her was, it's new, it's scary. So the thought of telling her and screwing something up is very scary for me.
Yeah. No, I get that. But, I guess my advice would just to, not let your fear hold you back and just go for it.
Kind of puts his glass down pretty hard. He's like, ah! He pats Pura on the back. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, so we should do this more often. This was pretty fun.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
And if you need me to be a wingman, I would be happy to.
I might, you know what? Speaking of wingmen, I know. And also speaking of kind of hiccups a little bit, I know you have your eye on Miss Songweaver.
Yeah. That's also I am partially terrified of Genevieve when I go into with my advances towards her. So
Yeah.
No, I left her a rose and a very, I think at least, a pretty good, well-written note. But I'm excited to see her when we get back.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
Well,
But I gotta, but I need to treat her right, because I'm afraid Genevieve will castrate me if I do something wrong. So
that might be the least of your problems.
Yeah.
For sure.
Marek, from a game master perspective,
Yeah.
I always roll a natural 20 when I want to. So this is a natural 20 insight check on what's going on in Marek's head as him and Pura are having this conversation.
Marek
yeah.
realizes that he is in love with Genevieve. He's not infatuated with her. This is what he feels like love is at this point in time.
Marek, I want to know, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to answer honestly from what's going on introspectively, of course. For the first time in perhaps a very long period of time, maybe even ever as an adult, is Marek finally feeling something outside of always kind of boxing up and compartmentalizing his emotions in this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think that internally it's not just that he's coming to terms with the fact of his true feelings about Genevieve too, but he's found that he actually has friends that he's never really had before, companionship in Pura and the other group members that, you know, it's in a sense of belonging, and that he's never ever felt, even with family or anything like that before.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I think we'll probably turn in. Rex's getting a little tired.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe Marek doesn't make it back to his room. He stumbles on his way.
Pure probably like makes it to his door and just falls over.
All right, and we will move from here. Paloma, I want to come back to you in this moment. We're going to kind of just make a series of checks, and we'll see how well you pilot the airship over the course of 8 days.
Okay,
So again,
loot Pura and Marek's pockets while they're unconscious.
noted, of course. I will not go into
I
those
don't.
details.
Marek
But
had
okay.
nothing because he left all of this shit in his room.
Sure. Paloma, this is going to be, we're going to do 7 D20 rolls here.
Jeez, okay.
The order, you know, you don't have to you can just give me the numbers as they happen. That doesn't really matter how you do one way or the other. And again, you'll add half of your dexterity modifier to each of these rolls as you go.
Okay. Oh, nice. That is a 21.
Okay.
That's cocked. Honor the cock. That is an 18. That is a 17. Nice. Oh, that's only a 7.
Okay.
That's another 18. That is another 18. How many is that? 6?
That is 6. You need one more.
It's a 12.
12. Okay. Great. Is there anything else that Paloma would like to do while aboard the vessel?
At some point, Paloma will give Genevieve back her loot and be like, so I found this sitting in the hallway, and like, anyone could have stepped on it. And it looks really expensive. So, here.
Thank you, Paloma. I appreciate that you returned this instead of... You always had the option of keeping it, so...
I don't
appreciate you giving it back to me. Well, you could have maybe made like 50 gold off of it.
Oh, you tell me that now?
Well, I appreciate that you didn't. I don't even know if it's even worth that much. Worth more to me, but it might be it may only mean something to me. But it doesn't matter. Thank you.
Yeah. So what you're saying is I should have held it hostage and made you give me 50 gold.
You could have held it for ransom. That I would have done that. It would have been a smart idea.
Okay. Next time.
Preferably, I would rather us work together on holding something for ransom than against each other.
How good are you at relieving people of their objects? Of their personal belongings?
I'd say I'm pretty damn good. I mean, no one here knows if anything has gone missing. Right?
Good
Have
point.
you?
No, I Oh, wait a minute. Where's my wallet?
Paloma, you had the perfect opportunity to say, "Where's my filing cabinet?"
Where's my filing cabinet? Yes. Well, next time I decide to go to the Hex District, if we stick around Provonere long enough, maybe we can go together, and then I don't have to take Vellmon and shove him into a cart as a distraction.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't need to shove anybody into a cart. I could just be Jean, or I could not be Jean, and I could just be me. Or I feel like I've got pretty good sleight of hand, so we may not have to distract anybody.
Okay.
But
let
I'm
you
down.
know.
I appreciate. Thank you, Paloma.
And Paloma walks away, like, double checking her pockets and.
Genevieve was definitely trying to deceive Paloma.
Oh, Mason, do I do decently at piloting the ship?
We'll find out when we get to Provonere.
We end up in Oshivester.
We
We made it.
Yeah, we've
circle
gone
back
back to.
The engine's actually been on fire this entire time.
Yeah, we're actually plummeting out of the sky. No one's noticed.
We're back in Akadon.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, no.
It's okay.
It all
Pura
leads
remembers
back
the
to
teleportation
Akadon.
sigil.
I
Back
would
to.
rather crash
so-
the ship than that.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to do while aboard?
If Marek wants to, I have finished making the custom item that I guess Marek has been making this whole time. Genevieve's armor, if you want to give that to her.
Oh shit! Yeah, are we at the next day already?
We're just kind of doing this kind of
literally-
asynchronously, so it's just kind of.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's at some point.
Okay, yeah. I guess Marek would take the item and try to track down Genevieve.
Genevieve, where do we find? Where does Marek find you? But where do we find you?
Probably making potato soup in the kitchen.
Nice. All right. Marek, you find Genevieve in the kitchen, making some food.
Is the armor like stiff?
It's just a breastplate.
Oh, it's just a breastplate. Okay. Marek's gonna walk in on her making food, like holding this breastplate, like, oh fuck. But he walks in, he's like,
Okay, first of all, for context, has Genevieve and Marek spoken a lot since being on the ship, or has it been kind of here and there?
probably like so. I mean, you can also be the judge of this, but probably like socially, not any less than normal, like that she would suspect anything.
Okay, because
She has been busy
she probably
making a
is.
thing.
Yeah, she probably has sensed that you've been busy around this ship, so she's probably going to wait until we're in Provonere to ask about your sister and stuff. So nothing too deep, just surface level stuff.
Okay, word.
I can't remember if you like soup or not. I'm making potato soup. I just made enough for me, but I could make some more potatoes if you're hungry. But what is that? What are you holding?
He kind of sets down the breastplate a little bit aside and takes her spoon and takes a bite anyways. He's like, I won't need any more than that. And then he puts the spoon back and hands up the breastplate. He's like, Altrix and I have been making this for you.
Really? For me?
Indeed. Try it on.
Oh shit. She's like excited. She has the cloak of protection that she's been keeping on since it was acquired. So she just kind of slips that off and she's putting the breastplate on, but she's never really like worn armor before. So she's like trying to like latch it, but she's like not really sure what she's doing.
He
So
just kind of
she's-
comes around. He sees that she's struggling. He kind of just grabs the leather part, just pulls it real tight. You know, like the ladies like pull a corset on, like they put the corset. He just kind of goes like that, and goes like, tightens it up like without her like really realizing it.
Straightens up. Okay, that's really tight. Do y'all always wear this like tight?
Kind of loosens it up a little bit, and is that better?
Yeah. No, this is comfortable. So hopefully we don't get into any trouble anytime soon, but definitely make
just
me
to
feel a little better.
Interject here. What you are currently wearing is the Rogue's Dark Plate. It has two properties about it. First, it has dark steel. Made completely out of dark steel. Perception checks relying on sight have disadvantage against you while you are in dim light or darkness. And second of all, it is elven, and meaning you are considered proficient with this armor even if you lack proficiency. And
The
you can go
name-
ahead and get that armor. It's currently in party inventory.
The name in itself just sounds so badass.
Shit! That beefs her up a lot. Wow.
And that does stack with your cloak,
That's amazing.
because
She's
that
gonna, like,
armor
put
does
her-
not require attunement.
She's gonna like put her cloak back on, and she's. Is there anything reflective in the kitchen, Mason?
Oh, you can't hear me. Anything reflective, as in like
The
the
soup.
surface of the metal. Yeah, the soup is reflective. The pot that you're making the soup in is probably reflective. It's probably made of metal, and so is the spoon.
Okay, so she just goes to the stock pot. And she's like kind of checking herself out. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever had anything this nice before. You and Altrix make this?
I won't take credit for much. I was just the brawn. He was the brains behind the whole thing. I just swung a hammer and did some tools.
But you helped.
That I did.
Whose idea was it?
It was a little bit of both of ours.
Well, I'll have to tell him thank you as well as he thank you. I didn't know this is what you were doing this whole time.
Yeah.
Wish we would have had this, God, long before this. It would have been really nice. But now's, I guess, a good time as ever. I guess our foes are a lot more dangerous now than they ever have been. So definitely feels nice to have something like this, especially from you, and Altrix, of course.
Well, you've made it out alive in our altercations with our enemies. It's better than some, at least a couple of our allies can say. Yeah. I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing, but I just wanted to drop by and give it to you.
Does she perceive Marek being like kind of awkward?
Let's do an insight check from Genevieve. And Marek, if you are trying to hide deeper emotions, then we'll do a performance check.
I'll say performance check because
'Kay.
he is trying. This is the first time you've seen him probably awkward.
Sure.
Before.
All right, Marek, what did you get?
13.
13. Genevieve, did you get a high number higher than 13?
No.
No,
No,
okay.
she didn't.
Then no, I do not think you, unless you guys are welcome to go on your own. They're your characters. But based on the dice, I don't think Genevieve recognizes that Marek is any more awkward than normal.
Okay, she's just gonna kind of think about it, but not think too hard. Just think maybe he's just doing a nice thing, and he's not a gift giver.
Sure. Now, Genevieve, what I will have you do is make a perception check for something totally different. Morexapom. I had to break it to you.
Yeah, nobody did the stick on me, so
17.
17. Genevieve, I think as Marek is turning to leave, you catch a glimpse of the mark behind his ear that you've always known was there and just kind of paid no mind because it's like a birthmark. Honestly thought it might be rude to ask about it. But with 17, you realize that it's a little bit larger than the last time you observed it, which is strange. But I'll let you decide if you want to pursue that conversation or not.
I think naturally she's probably going to find him when he's sleeping to look at it. I don't think she's going to want to ask him directly.
That's not weird at all, but okay. Sounds great.
well, I mean, they probably sleep in the same room anyways, so you probably won't have to go too far.
Who knows? I mean, I guess you guys know, but I don't know. Great. All right, well, we return to the rest of you. Anybody else have anything they want to do aboard this vessel?
I forgot. I just need to finish making this bomb.
Another bomb. Sizik, what have you been up to aboard this airship in the ride back to Provonere?
Not much. Biding the time until we arrive.
Sure. Are you doing that in your room, or are you kind of out and about?
Mix of both.
Okay. I think on one particular moment that you're outside of your room, Relyn Vost approaches you. She's slept, thankfully, since the last time you spoke to her. And I think she literally approaches you and just conversational, just kind of picks up. Sizik, what are you doing?
There is a strange mark on the ship over there, and I'm trying to hit it with a rock.
I see. Okay. I suppose that is a way to pass time. Clarify. Observe.
Feel free.
I don't mean to invade on your activities. I've kind of picked up from the way people interact with you that you seem to be more of a person that follows fate.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, maybe you don't know, I mean, you don't have to know, that this is a long shot anyway, but perhaps you could observe fate as it stands, given our situation at hand.
I could try to, sure. Depends on what you need me to look at.
I don't even really know, honestly. Yeah, given everything that's happened in the last few days, the world just kind of seems like it's changing. And I don't know if I'm accommodating the change as best as I could.
Right. We are all trying our best. It is a lot, not just for you, but for everyone. But if you wish for me to help, I need to know specifically what you would like me to look for.
Yeah, actually, it's probably okay. I don't want to, again, invade on your time. Please forget that I asked anything.
No, it is quite all right. Um, Nobody really asks for my help in this regard much, so it is nice for somebody to need something like this for once.
You know, when Altrix and I first met each other, everything was nice. And then we spent time on this airship back to Provonere, and things were nice. And then, of course, I had a job, and all of you are adventurers, and I understand that, things get a little complicated in that regard, and, spend time away from each other, and that happens. And I was, I think, kind of ready for that to kind of happen. But at the same time, I think when all of you returned to Oshivester a few days ago, I think I was expecting a different version of Altrix than what I got. I think I'm dealing with a little bit of a mental disconnect that doesn't seem to line up right, if that makes any sense. So maybe I'm not even really asking about fate. You've been around him, I guess, in the last several months, so is there anything different you've observed?
Yes, he does not seem exactly the same as he was before he died. Though, of course, he refuses to admit it, he definitely feels different. He's not the same person.
Yeah, I feel like when we first met, he was a little bit more shy and a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to explain, and I don't want to bore you. I also don't mean to insult your age, but I don't want to bore you with details of problems that happen when you get older, I guess. But it just seemed like he was more interested in everything, and now it seems very distant and messy, and I don't know, something doesn't feel quite right.
I agree. He does not feel the same. Very, very different in many ways. So I understand your concerns, and I am unsure of how we could even help, especially with his refusing to allow us to help.
Yeah, I suppose so. From my perspective, I've always been really committed to my work, probably too much, and I think I'm starting to see in Altrix maybe that's not the best thing, because I think he needs a vacation. He seems like he's very worried all the time about all of you and everything going on. And I mean, I am too, don't get me wrong, and I think everybody is, but it's like he's not stopping. And it feels
unsafe, self-destructive.
Yeah, I suppose. That's probably a good way to phrase that.
Да. И
Yeah, I guess I don't, like you said, I don't really know how you help somebody that really doesn't believe they need help.
It is something that we are all trying to figure out. We all want to help him, but with him refusing to even accept that he is most assuredly different, it is hard to do that.
Yeah, the first day we were on the airship, I spoke with him and asked him how he was doing, and he said he was fine, which is honestly, frankly, a normal answer from anybody given this. I mean, what else are you going to do but be fine? But I tried to, I guess, show him that I wasn't fine, and he kind of just
It did not
glossed.
care.
I don't know if didn't care, but he just seemed to not really address it or really pick up on anything. I don't know.
He has never been great with social cues and whatnot, so obviously it may not be his strong suit, but he definitely feels worse than he did before.
Yeah, I mean, I could also be reading too much into it.
No, I don't believe that you are. I have been having my own strong opinions about how he has been acting recently. So I would not say that it is just you. Yeah, take that how you will.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really want to ask. I don't know who else to ask. Paloma's been working in the cockpit, and Genevieve and Narek, I think, are their names that I've picked up in conversations. They seem to have their own things going on, and Pura is drinking as always, from last I remember, and Vellmon's been in his room the whole time, and what happened to Evidin? Or Owenel?
Well, Owenel left.
Just left?
I believe went back home.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair.
A lot on his plate. But he did not have a plate on him, so I did not really understand. But Evidin is gone.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It is unfortunate, but well, we didn't really have much time to grieve. We kind of just had to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think over the last few days I've been grieving and processing what happened, and I haven't really ever allowed myself any time to do that, ever. I've always been really busy, and I'm sure all of you are the same way, with just a different line of work. But I appreciate your insights. You're quite wise for however young you are. I don't actually know, but...
I would not say that it is important. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it just comes with, I don't want to say the territory, but just following the path that I do, I suppose, needing to have some semblance of wisdom is important.
You say follow the path that you need to. that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to.
I think I misspoke on that one. I meant to say
Oh, no, you're
the path
good. It's
that
okay.
I do.
No, you're fine. I was just reading into it. You're
Yeah.
fine.
No.
Thank you for clarifying. I understand. Okay. I'm literally grasping at hay at this point. It doesn't. I'm trying to make sense of a world that figuratively is on fire around me. Not literally, of course. There's no fires, I hope, on deck. But Pura seems to be going down and talking to something in the hole. I keep hearing him through the floorboards of my room, and I don't know what's going on with him. But anyway, I hope he's not doing anything with fire in the hole. But anyway.
He's probably just drank so much that he's talking to himself.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably possible. Thank you, Sizik. I appreciate it. I know we can't solve all the problems of the world, and I don't think I will pretend and waste time that anybody can, but...
We can at least try our best to lessen the burden for other people.
Sure. If there's ever any burdens, by the way, that you ever need to talk about, I don't know any of you really super well, but I imagine I will be getting to know all of you a little bit better in the foreseeable future, so if there's ever anything you need to get off your chest, then feel free. But I will let you get back to throwing things at that rope over there, which I hope is not important. But thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully we can figure out how to help him soon.
Sure. Maybe so. As we close this scene, Paloma, now proficient in air vehicles, I'll add that to your character sheet in just a moment, successfully pilots us towards the sky dock here in Provonere on the 11th day of the month of Eukyxis. But we'll pick up as we arrive back in Provonere after this short intermission, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. and welcome back. We return to the city of Provonere, quite literally, as Provonere is coming into view at the skyport, where Paloma is now actively docking this vessel into its hold. Now, typically, the skyport would be crawling with Gilded Order troops, but given that they recently deployed not too long ago, they are still prevalent here. There's not as much of a presence here. So all of you, of course, are kind of screened via some Gilded Order members. And I think I'd like one of you to volunteer, please. All right, Owens, you seem very eager to do it. So are you the person in charge of this vessel or its arrival?
No.
Do you speak on behalf of the majority of the people here?
I guess I can.
Great, I'll take it. Why have you, what is the purpose of your arrival here?
We live here.
Okay. Usually we're supposed to have something come in advance to clarify that you're supposed to be docking here. Where do you live? Here.
Can we see the coastal chateau from here?
You can. This is the tallest building in the city, and you can, in fact, look down and see it. It's like a little bitty dot.
You see the giant house with the two towers next to it, with the things that kind of look like ballistas, but definitely are not.
He pulls out a spectacle and looks at. Yeah, that's your house.
Yeah.
Great. So you live in Concise Hill. Okay. Any important business that you needed to declare before we go through all of your things?
Business? We're not.
Any items we should be aware of? Any stowaways? Any illegal? Anything?
I don't think so.
Great. Then I hope you don't mind if we go through everything, and it won't take us very long, and we'll get you right on your way. I'm going to assume nobody has any illegal things on them. If you do, I would.
An illegal thing.
Yeah, that's true. Anything that might be highly suspicious, please let me know in advance.
I mean, I definitely have those, but they're in the siphon.
Yeah, they're in the siphon, so it's whatever.
do, and mine are in the bag of holding.
The bag of holding, yeah.
Like my black box of mystery stuff, would that be?
That would be a suspicious object. Yes.
It's just a box.
Do you want to put
just
it
a
in the bag
box?
of holding?
If I can.
Oh no! Wait.
I don't know.
It's probably not safe to put that in there.
Well, it is sealed. It is sealed, so as long as it doesn't come open. Unless you believe it's another extra-dimensional space, and in that case, that could be a different problem. But
we don't really know what it is, right? It's just
that's true. Nobody really knows what it is.
Fluid. Probably try to shove it into the bag of holding.
Great. That happens, and nothing bad occurs with that. Great. As they look over kind of all of your things, including Daiki Aziris and Relyn Vost, and of course the crew here, they do not find anything worth noting on a perception check of 9. And so as they go through everything, all right, folks, welcome back again. In the future, please just let us know in advance whenever you plan to arrive here on an airship. Again, we are kind of on still a little bit of a lockdown, though we're slowly tight. Usually just a sending message in advance. The captain can usually just relay to the tower here, and we'll make sure that you're scheduled to come in. It's not that big of a deal right now. Restrictions are kind of loosening up just a little bit, but not much. So just keep that in mind, please. But yeah, y'all are free to go. Enjoy the rest of your day. And all of you begin to return, leaving the sky dock here and returning down to the base, and then once again climbing the stairs to Concise Hill and arriving at the coastal chateau. So this is where you all live? Yes?
Yeah.
Nice. It's actually a really nice house.
We used to live in a bakery, but...
So some upgrades, I see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to intrude. Do I need to get like an in room, or how?
No. Yeah, we have rooms here.
You can sleep with Altrix.
I
I'm
guess
sure
my
there's
room
plenty
is
of
pretty
space in
empty
his room.
most of the time. You know, I spend sometimes a night in the siphon anyway, so.
Okay. Do you have other rooms?
I guess there's other quarters and.
Okay. And I don't want to intrude on all of your space.
Mason, there's only 4 on the map. Do we have more than that?
I believe there is more space than that. There's an entire bedroom that has actually gone unfilled. That
well.
the Coastal Chateau has, because it was the room that was meant for you, and then you ended up sleeping with Sizik in the bunk.
Oh, yeah.
So there's the
there we go.
monk room. She's like, I'll just go in there. Yeah, your guys are fine. Okay, well, I'm going to go try to get settled in. Do I need to do anything here? Do y'all have security I need to check in with? How does that work?
Not to check in with, no.
No, but there's a little mouse guy in the front entrance, and he'll probably want to get your information.
Okay, I will go talk to him. Thank you.
Oh. Also, if anyone asks for your blood, tell them no.
Gilded Order, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Noted. And then she will enter in ahead of all of you at the chateau. As all of you arrive, Marigold Burrows is happy to see all of you. Welcome back. How was your trip?
Eventful.
Yeah.
Very wet. Yeah.
I mean, it is a city like kind of based on water, so that would actually make a lot of sense. But okay, it's kind of mid-afternoon right now. I have plenty of things to update all of you on if you want them now, but we're not necessarily in any pertinent rush. So I'll let you all decide, but I don't mean to, of course, bombard you as I continually do, and so I do apologize. Every first time you come back, I have a lot to tell you. But whenever you guys want updates, just let me know. I'll be here in the office. But yeah, welcome home.
Could we? I mean, we typically have those conversations over some breakfast. Could it wait till tomorrow morning?
I can wait till tomorrow morning. That's fine.
Do you have anything on the menu?
I'm not the one that really makes the menu, but I can talk to the cooks and see what they've got.
No, it's totally fine. Just curious. But I think
Okay.
over breakfast would be fine, like usual.
Okay, breakfast it is. Then all of you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will speak to you at dawn tomorrow whenever we have breakfast or whenever. A little after dawn, 8 a.m. You know what I mean. You've been here before. And all of you can kind of disperse to what you'd like to do here at the chateau.
Genevieve's definitely gonna go check on her mom.
Okay, noted.
What time is it?
It's mid-afternoon. It's probably 3 o'clock or so by the time you all get back here on the 11th of the month. Genevieve, you go find your mother, who is currently sitting outside in the small courtyard that here is at the chateau, just kind of watching the clouds in the sky, just kind of chilling, not really doing much.
She's gonna just go sit right next to her. And
Genevieve, hi, welcome back.
Hi. I hope you've been faring well since we left not too long ago.
Yes, but y'all were gone for like a week, so I thought you were going to be back sooner. But it's fine. I mean, I've been faring just okay.
Just okay?
Yeah, I mean, with all the stuff going on around here at the house, I feel a little useless, maybe. but I'm fine. A little lonely, I guess. But I'm glad you're
Right.
back. Was your trip good, bad, neutral?
Eventful. Very eventful, but all of our trips have been very eventful, so it's not really,
Sure.
you know,
No, I mean that's totally
I-
fair.
Mother.
No, go
Um,
ahead. Yes.
I'm sorry you've been lonely here. I didn't even think that you're used to being in such a different environment. I didn't even think that you'd get lonely. I'm so sorry.
No, I mean I'm used to being entertained in a different environment.
Right.
But you know how it goes. I think I've always been a little bit lonely.
Yeah.
And I
Maybe,
promise. Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead, Mother.
No, yours is going to be much more fruitful. So please go ahead.
Well, maybe you should get out of the house. Not alone, of course, but is there any place you'd
Oh.
like to go?
I suppose there are some places that I wouldn't mind visiting, but also given the circumstance and the kind of enforcement, I didn't want to get into any trouble. So I have been
course.
here most of the time. I've helped a little bit with gardening. I've actually never really done gardening before, but the tenants are, at least I guess all of your employees, I suppose, are quite nice enough to let me at least attempt. I grew a tomato,
This is good.
like one tomato, but that was about the fruit of my labor, I suppose.
It's not nothing.
It's better than something.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, I wouldn't mind going out and exploring this place that you live, I suppose. But that can wait. I'm sure you're also very busy, so you don't have to worry about me.
There's a conversation I want to revisit that we had a few weeks ago when you first got here.
I have not slept with any of the staff members.
This is I mean, just wonderful to hear. It's kind of about that, but not really, I guess. What do you think of, I mean, surely you've met him. One of my friends, Pura?
Yes, I have become acquainted with Pura.
I'm sure you have.
No, not in that regard, just as friends.
I know. I think he knows that I would probably do some pretty heinous things to him if he did. But do you have any interest in him?
I mean, I do believe he left me some flowers and a nice box as a gift, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with that because
Right.
you and I had a conversation the very same day about being more professional around your colleagues and your staff. I mean, he's handsome if that's what you're asking, but I don't know if I've developed any romantic involvement beyond a general observation.
Well, not like there's been a lot of room to do that, I guess, with your overprotective daughter looming about and threatening to castrate him if he gets too close. But
Did I teach you that phrase?
I think it's one I acquired. But I wanted to let you know that he's a really good guy. If you had to, pursue anybody or have anyone pursue you, I think he'd be a safe bet.
Wouldn't that be awkward for you?
I mean, I don't know, but I think it's more awkward seeing him just stare at your room from across the courtyard and yearn for you. I'd prefer him just to get it over with.
Is it a get it over with, or is it a long-term pursuit?
It doesn't seem like a get it over with. I think he's here for the long game.
He is an elf. They can play a
Yeah.
long game.
I'm sure you would appreciate a long game.
Well, long in that regard, sure.
We've never really talked about these things before.
No, I mean, I never really wanted to get you involved in the type of work that I did, and I was very proud that you chose a different profession. Not that I'm necessarily ashamed of what I do, but, you know, a mother doesn't want that for her daughter.
Have you ever been in love?
No, I don't think so.
Mhm.
I maybe have thought that I was in love a few times,
Yeah.
but no, I don't think so. Whiskey
ever
can do a
want to be?
crazy thing to a girl. What?
That's why I prefer not to drink too much.
I agree.
I tend to be a little too honest when I drink.
You know what we feel about honesty.
Mm,
It's dangerous.
yeah, very. Prefer not to be too honest. No. I don't know. I guess there's some people who kind of know what that's like, but I don't know if I really know what that's all about. You know?
Genevieve, I'm not naive. You seem to be playing with a double-edged sword.
I've played with a lot of swords. Not
I'm
men,
sure you
though.
have. Ah,
Not those swords. I've stayed clear of those swords, but maybe too clear. I don't even really know it. I'm not. I mean, I know how to make my way around a conversation, but beyond that, it's like I don't know what I'm doing.
wait, never?
Never, mother.
Hmm.
I mean, I've kissed a man, but that was.
Good for you.
I think that was. Oh God, 10 years ago.
Hmm.
It didn't end very well.
Honestly, it's usually not the most memorable thing in the world, so I
What
wouldn't
is?
sweat it. Yeah. A word of advice, though, if you are conflicted about a sword in your life. Swords have a lot of purposes. They could be used for defense and to attack. So be mindful of anyone that you might be interested in. Whenever that happens, of course.
Of course.
That you take care of yourself, too.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
Well, maybe an old sword will take you out and have some fun.
I don't think he's that old, actually. I think he's pretty middle-aged for his species.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems old to me. But I mean, you know.
Quite funny. Well, you know how I am. I'm quite hard to get, so we'll see what he comes up with.
Sounds like a good challenge for him. Not so much you.
Oh, you know, we'll see. But I will take
Wow.
you up on your offer at some point. Let's go explore the town. But I will let you adjust to getting back from your trip, and I will not keep you
Of
from that.
course. Of course. Well. In the meantime, I guess I should get kind of settled.
Sure.
Maybe talk to the sword.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mother.
You're welcome, Genevieve. Moving away from the sword in the room, anybody have anything else they'd like to do.
I need to go visit Madame Lepori.
Great. I'm glad you mentioned that, Sizik. Sizik, as you head down to the Hex District, to Hexes and Scrolls, Madame Lepori is hard at work in her magic shop here and preparing her tavern as well to be opened in a few hours. Sizik, nice of you to drop by.
Hello.
Take it your trip went well?
Well, we're back, so I would say that that is a good assumption.
Sure. I suppose so. I do not need to know the details of your ventures, but I assume the reason that you have come by is to pick up this lapel.
Yes, you assume correctly.
Wonderful. And she presents a small box, almost like a ring box, but as she opens it up, there is a gold 4-leaf lapel, basically. And there's a little bit of magical glimmer as it kind of hits the light just right. And embedded right in the center is a large yellow oval gemstone. And you can add that item that I've already sent you to your inventory. And tune to it.
Awesome.
And I decided to include a little something else in your thing. So whenever you have the time, just take a look at underneath the velvet.
Hmm? And it's just...
Have a great day, Sizik.
You too. And he'll go out and just check.
Yep. Sizik, as you open up the bottom, there is a small little handwritten note that she has put in there. And it simply writes L.I., comma, and says, I have found that the arcane lattice work is triangulating based on 3 runes. And I believe that at least one location is at Kansana's Keep. And it's -M. L, you know.
Huh. Sizik is very confused.
That's okay. And then you can return to the coastal chateau. Anybody else this afternoon? A fine day, indeed.
Yeah, I guess I'll start looking into this fucking robot.
Sure. All right, Altrix. I think there's a couple different things we can go about that. Let's start with the general investigation check. A Tinker's Tools check would be fine as well, but both of those would be fine. And then while you're doing that, I know Jared had something he was going to try.
I just want to go to the storehouse.
Oh, yes.
To talk with the guy.
Okay.
The guy.
The guy. Yes. As you arrive at the storehouse here at the chateau, you are greeted by the halfling, Talik Hobbentrack. Hello, Pura. How are you?
Hey, doing good. Long time no see.
Yes, long time no see indeed. I've been quite busy. I've got a lot of sales that were being made, which is, I suppose, good. But I suppose are you here for the thing, or are you here for the money?
The thing.
Yeah. Here's this envelope, and he hands you a letter that's sealed in an envelope.
Okay. Yeah. Does it look like the same letter last time?
It looks like a similar letter, yes.
Oh. Thank you very much. He
Of course.
slips it into his coat. So how's the business been doing?
Really good. I started working with the vault that you guys installed not that long ago, and we are kind of tag teaming, kind of diverting funds into that as well, and kind of doing a little bit of investment with the Voyage Reserve, and then I'm also continuing the alcohol business. So everything is honestly going really good. I've got some good profit margins that I think you'd be interested in. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to put that back into the house, though, or if you wanted me to kind of cut a dividend to you and let you keep that, or both.
Reinvest and dividend.
Great. All right. So you want to reinvest the maximum amount and then dividend from the rest?
Yeah.
Great. All right. We'll keep 4,000 then, and I will. Can I just deliver just a sack to your room?
Yep.
That'd be fine. Okay.
Yep.
Should be about 800 or so.
Oh, well, we're doing good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Well, keep up the good work.
All right. Well, thank you. Anything else you need from me?
No, I think that's it. I think you're doing a fabulous job.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, Altrix, as we come back to you.
Oh wait, I'd like to step out and like read the note.
Sure. It simply says, sorry, I'm reading what I have attached here. It is a series of logs on transactions to a business known as the Hexblade, which you recognize is Madame Lepori's tavern, basically. Her adjacent to Hexes and Scrolls is the Hexblade. And it is basically a business contract, so to speak, saying that that your storehouse and the Hexblade are kind of doing an agreement to supply alcohol to them through the city, and that Madame Lepori has agreed to occasionally slip in an extra document on the invoice, and that document is what you would probably assume to be something that is really meant for your group's eyes only. And in this particular one, it says, "We missed you at our most recent meeting. However, we hope that another meeting will be fruitful. Please join us at the Historic City Hall at 1:13 p.m. on the Day of Dark Light on Eukixus 17th.
Cool.
Great. All right, Altrix, now we come back to you.
There was a 16.
16. All right, Altrix, I think you are able, just kind of looking over what you found here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 findings that you are able to make here, all of which will require some different checks and investigations as you'd like to go. But I think on a 16, I'll kind of list them out for you, at least in a particular capacity for you to investigate. And that includes the arms, the energy cores, the potion unit, the central processing structure, the fly glyphs on the boots that you found, and then one other hidden thing.
I see.
Yes, a little Easter egg for you, I guess.
I guess we'll start with the central processing structure.
Great. If you will go ahead and give me an investigation check, please.
Investigation check. Now, one thing I will ask. Let me double check. Eyes of minute seeing. What did they say? Eyes of minute seeing grant me advantage on all investigation checks if they're within 1 foot.
Then, in fact, you would have advantage on this particular check.
Coolio. Ooh, okay. 26. And you know what? Fuck it. We'll make it a 31.
31. That was not necessary, but I'm glad you thought it was. You hit the DC on its own. It's okay.
We got it.
All right. The central processing structure is unfortunately disabled. It gets waterlogged and it's it's not salvageable. However, it does reveal something different compared to the existing mechanical you investigated with Sir Galad Revanian, in the fact that this mechanical had the capacity to sync up to other mechanicals nearby and energize on each other.
On each other.
Yes, and I also, since you did hit the second DC, also without needing to add that extra number on there, you also have learned that unlike the previous mechanicals, which you did not see any function for, this particular set of mechanicals, at least you believe, is able of transmitting a live video feed to somewhere.
Fucking course it is. Of course it. I couldn't have the magnet.
All right. And again, these are kind of all going to take 2-hour checks, so just kind of be mindful of that as you go through. Yeah.
Okay. Then, so that was the central processing unit, or
yes.
trying to remember what my other options were. Not there was the flyglyphs, there was the arms.
Yeah, you've got the arms, energy core, central processing unit, poison unit, and flyglyphs.
We'll do the
And extra.
energy unit.
Okay. You can give me an investigation, arcana, or tinker's check here. Actually, and also a medicine or nature check would also be fine.
I'll lose the advantage, but I'll go for Tinker's Tools.
Okay.
It's going to be a 24.
24. Okay. You realize that the components are basically the same as what you found in the previous mixture. However, it is slightly more potent in terms of its infusion, which means that it's capable of powering a bigger machine, which you observed because Sir Galad Revanian was a medium-sized creature and this was a large-sized creature. And then theoretically could create a slightly more powerful detonation blast. But other than that, nothing really of note. However, because you hit a 23, which is the DC, you are able to save that energy core as a component for something. It's not damaged. So you can just write down on your inventory just unknown energy core.
Hold on, I need to create a category for this. Hold on.
For sure.
Energy core.
Yep.
And this is the thing that goes boom?
Yes, this is the thing when basically superheated or some other electrical impulse is kind of guided directly into it, or arcane glyph disbursement, I suppose. Any of those would trigger a chemical reaction that rapidly explodes.
Can I activate it?
You can right now if you want to.
But I could.
Yeah, you theoretically could. Yeah, that's correct.
Could.
Yes, you could.
Do I have an estimate on the blast radius?
I think further testing will be required for that.
All right, Paloma, you're gonna go in here. You're gonna drop this off and get the fuck out of it.
What?
This is the plan. You take this. You hit this button. Run in there. Drop in the middle of whatever the bad guys are. And then book it like hell out.
Sure, why not?
Paloma, place the bomb. Yes. All right. Altrix, that leaves you with arms, poison unit, legs, and other.
We'll do the poison unit.
Okay.
What's it gonna be?
This will be I will take nature, medicine, or investigation.
We'll do investigation.
Okay. Not a super high DC on this one, by the way.
Whoa. 28.
28. Okay. The DC was 15. But good job. You realize that this poison unit in particular had been damaged and had leaked out and got mixed with water, so it is practically unusable.
Gotcha. Darn, could have taken them both. We have to go back.
Gotta go back. That leaves you with arms, feet, and other.
I've done 3 so far, so I can only do 1 more for today.
Yes.
Arms, feet. Okay, I can do the other. I just don't understand what it is.
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh, I'll do that then.
Now, here's the caveat. I'm not going to tell you what skill you're going to be using off of this. So you're going to... Yeah, I'm just going to look.
Okay.
And if you feel like you need to use something to boost your ability, then sure. But you have to kind of guess at that in advance.
Well, I guess what I could do, theoretically, is I can cast Enhance Ability on myself for intelligence.
Okay.
Make all intelligence check at advantage.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to commit to this roll.
Okay.
And would you rather me roll 1 die and then say, like, if it wouldn't be at advantage, that's the 1 result, and then roll a second dice for if it was at advantage?
Sure, let's do that.
All right, so if this is a flat roll, it's a 16 on the die.
Okay.
With advantage, still a 16.
Okay. All right. All right, and then I can ask you, do you want...
I'll Flash of Genius that to make it 21 at least.
Okay. That Flash of Genius does push you over. The DC was 30. And it was an investigation check, which is intelligence-based, so that's helpful. This is particularly small. In fact, to any average onlooker, they would easily miss this. It's almost the same color as the hull of the mechanical itself. But pressed in is a small little insignia, kind of on like the lower back, basically. That's just kind of ever so slightly a slight different tint of metal than the iron itself is. And it is 2 initials, BT.
BT. Altrix immediately stands up, turns around to another desk that's just full of notes, starts scrambling through everything. And we'll spend the next couple hours doing that.
Sure.
AKA, Owens, will be scrolling through my notes.
Okay, great. All right, perfect. All right, does anybody else have anything they want to do?
I have my end of day task
Yes.
I want to do, but that's it.
Okay. Anybody else before end of day? Okay. All right. In that case, as Aneris begins to set on Provonere here, Genevieve, as people begin to fall asleep this evening, what are you up to?
You didn't forget about the birthmark. But she felt like maybe Marek would not let her observe the way that she would like to observe. So since they have the same room, she's going to stealthily try to inspect the birthmark.
Okay.
Are you going to need me to roll anything other than investigation?
Nope. I think. Actually, I will have you roll a stealth check. I will let you roll it with advantage.
Okay.
And then we'll do an investigation based on the success or failure of said stealth check.
Okay. A 23 for stealth.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Okay. And then I'll go ahead and roll investigation. Can I give myself bardic inspiration?
If you said so in advance, then yes. However,
Yeah, I didn't roll yet.
I'm assuming at this point you've already stealthed into the room since that's what you're rolling on stealth. So you're like standing in the room, like hunched over his bed. So if you have a way to give yourself bardic inspiration and can play that, then I'll allow it. I'm interested to see what you can come up with.
I'm gonna say because they both sleep in the same room. They share a room.
Yes.
She's really just kind of sneaking over to his side of the room. But
Yeah.
The way that I would think that she would give herself bardic inspiration is that she's going to be kind of like humming to herself.
Okay.
Like as she's like kind of like inspecting, which she is pretty musical, and I don't think it would be out of the ordinary of her kind of like singing in the nighttime.
Okay, sure. I'll let you take bardic inspiration then.
Okay. Cool. Okay. We said investigation?
Yes.
Okay. It's going to be a 16 for investigation. Which that's not with my bardic inspiration. So I don't know if I need to go ahead and roll a d8. Like if that
a
matters.
16 is a failure, so you might want to roll a bardic inspiration. Yes.
Okay. Let's see what happens. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. That is the exact DC that you needed.
Oh my god!
As you kind of look right behind Marek's ear, and again, there's always been this like weird, like kind of black splotch of a birthmark. It could be a tattoo, a birthmark. You're not quite sure. And when you were on the airship, over the last week with Marek, that you noticed that it got a little larger. But now that you're looking at it, it's not only that it got a little bit bigger, it also has changed shape. It no longer is just a splotch. It looks almost like the hilt of a sword. It's got this weird 3 prongs coming out, but there's no blade that you can
right.
that you can make out. At least you're not sure. But if you were to be asked what it looks most like, you would probably say the hilt of a sword.
She's not she has a half proficiency in Arcana, so it's not like she's super like in tune with arcane energy, but could she, by using like touch, try to like touch it and see if she can kind of sense anything?
Yeah, you're just trying to see if it's arcane in nature at all.
Yeah, I guess I think that's what she'd probably be looking for at this point.
Yeah, you can totally do that. So give me an Arcana check, please.
Okay. Right. Oh fuck! I'm gonna use a luck point.
Okay, noted.
It's not like a terrible roll, but it's not good. Okay, that's better. A 16.
16. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Genevieve, as you kind of just gently run 2 or 3 fingers over this strange marking, you do feel a little bit of a sensation of just kind of dull, almost latent magical energy that is different to you. With a 16, I will give you only one of the schools of magic that is coming off of that.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to tell you in advance, but I will. I'm going to have you roll a d4 for me.
Okay. One of the schools of
Yes,
magic.
one of
4.
4. There is a little bit of abjuration that you kind of pick up, which is a school that is built on protection and shielding and of sorts. But I think that is all you're able to glean from this particular investigation as Marek kind of rolls over a little bit, and you have to quickly move your hand out of the way before he lays on top of your hand and have to give up on it for at least for now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, she definitely kind of starts to back away, and she kind of wants to, like, she thinks to herself kind of curiously if she's ever seen, you know, especially when she grew up in the brothel, she saw so many people kind of coming in and out of that brothel, or the cafe of sorts of notorious activity or nefarious activities.
Yeah, sure.
And she thinks to herself, like, has she ever seen anyone come through with this kind of marking, whether it's at the current state of it, as it is on Marek now, or before?
Give me a history check, please.
Okay. Can I give myself a luck point before the roll to roll advantage?
Do you have an ability for that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
have the lucky ability.
Oh, yes. You can preemptively use that point. Sorry. I thought you were asking a different question, but yes, that makes total sense. Go ahead.
Okay. Would it be too much to ask to give myself another bardic inspiration?
I'm going to say no on this one, Genevieve.
Okay.
Say no on this one.
I thought I would ask. It's
okay. It's a fair ask.
Okay. 19.
19. Okay.
It's not bad.
Not bad. You think back through your childhood, growing up, like you said, in a cafe of nefarious activity, and perhaps other things that we will not speak of. And there was a man that came in that did not, at least to your knowledge, get a night with your mother, but instead of one of her colleagues. And you, I think with a 19, I will give you this person's name. This is Dion Wick.
Okay.
He was a large, very well-built gentleman. Looked human-ish in nature, but you, even as a kid, were able to tell that there was something a little different about him, like a weird sparkle in his eye or something that wasn't quite fully human. But I think with a 19 history, that's all I'm going to give you.
Okay. I think with that, she'll kind of just accept kind of what she's kind of thought back on. And she's going to try to sleep, but I think she'll have a difficult time with kind of through her thoughts.
Sure. Vellmon, you have vanished from your party as a whole, and have returned to a site that you have mixed feelings about. That is Karamira's dungeon here in Provonere. Now, it does take a decent amount of work to get across the city, stealthing away from Gilded Order troops, but you do successfully make it to that ladder that descends down into this old and abandoned alchemical facility. As you kind of hang out here for several hours, time just kind of ticks by as you wander around and kind of reminisce on different areas of an encounter with Karamira that happened a few months ago with your party, and then also returning here and how that made you feel after Akadon, and now coming back here brings back, again, mixed emotions. But Vellmon, obviously you were expecting a visitor, and visitors, in fact, you do receive. As appearing in this room is Ellis Berdier, Lydia Berdier, and Aurel. All three of them arriving in this particular chamber. And you do not have to be able to see their faces to feel the unpleasantries that are exuding off of their faces. Are you going to say anything?
I'm trying to think of what to say.
Less than a week. Go ahead.
I knew the potential consequences of it, but I didn't see any other choice. If I didn't do that, then not just me, but likely all of my friends would have died.
I do not know what you encountered while you were in Oshivestra and Hydroxylvexen. Though I assure you, dying in that moment would have been far better than the death that will follow with this path that you have chosen. What happened?
Like I really care, but we were fighting a robotic version of the Chancellor, 3 of them, and in the chaos, the ballroom or whatever, the glass that was holding back the river up above cracked and began to shatter, and none of us had anything to stop it or fix it or repair it in that short amount of time. And all I know is that Shoni had that power, and I saw that as the only way to, at the very least, reduce the tidal wave that would consume all of us.
I appreciate the honesty. You have made it a terribly foolish error. Do you even know how much danger you have called to this plane?
No, because y'all don't really tell me anything that I ask. All I know is they want Shoni, and we'll probably do whatever it takes to get him.
Yes, they probably will. Though the clay arm may not yet walk the face of Alethea, they are sure to come looking for the disturbance that we felt as well. Though they cannot track Shoni directly, we jumped plane to plane in our departure before finally arriving here on one of the numerous material planes, just to throw off their abilities to follow us. You have now extended an invitation to the doom that will follow. Not just for Shoni, not just for me and Ellis and Lydia, not just for yourself, but also your companions and every single person that stands between them and you.
And what do you think I've cooped myself up here away from them?
What do you intend to do to hide Shoni?
I guess what I'm doing right now.
That's not good
Stay.
enough.
Well, what else can I do? Either I swear to God, cat's gonna piss me off. Either I isolate myself from anyone and everyone so that no one knows where I am and where Shoni could be and lead the clay arm to him and by extension me, or y'all take him back and y'all jump through 1,000 different planes to find another safe haven and restart with him back at square one again.
Yes, those are both thoughts that have crossed my mind. Or you flee instead. But I am open to other ideas that you may have available to you. You can't just stay down here forever. One, you won't be able to survive, but also, they will come looking for you.
Yes, that's part of why I'm secluding myself, so that if they do manage to find me, it'll take them God knows how long. Sure, I could leave, but where to?
I don't know. Perhaps that was something you should have thought about before you acted rashly and invited this consequence of your actions into our world.
Well, then explain why he didn't stop me. He has had no problem stopping me from making poor choices in the past.
Because his job is not to stop you. Your job is to wield him correctly. With wisdom and intelligence and a bit of common sense.
Oh, sorry, he didn't come with an owner's manual.
No, he didn't. Why do you think that is the case? That is by design. If we just handed out pamphlets that said how to use a powerful weapon, don't you think that would be a little conceited of us? You cannot stay here. Because the point is not to prolong them finding him. The point is to not find him at all. It also, as we have said before, does no good if you die as well. So I get the sacrifice play that you're trying to make, but it's not heroic, nor is it noble. In fact, it makes things much worse because he will get taken and you will die.
Sacrifice wasn't part of the idea, more just not be found.
They will find you, Vellmon. Once they are on this plane, they may not be able to track Shoni, but they can track you. Every one of you mortals leaves little footprints of signature dust in the atmosphere around you. That can be preyed upon by arcane attuned individuals like us.
Only other thing I could think of, besides fleeing this place, would be to break him out.
Yes, I agree. That would be a beneficial outcome. Do you have a suggestion on how we will accomplish that?
Well, y'all didn't give me much information on how Onis were summoned. I tried asking, like they should be done by now, our librarian about summoning Onis and whatnot. And given the information I found in Akadon about their attempts to summon Shoni through small pocket planes to slowly wiggle him out where he is, and with my idea of mixing Altrix's technology with his siphon to, as we would try to summon Shoni, the magic on the sword would activate where that magic is that keeps him there. Altrix should hopefully be able to focus on that particular magic, and while we are trying to summon him over and over again, he uses his siphon to suck out that part of the magic, binding him there, which, I'm no scientist, but in theory, sounds like a plausible idea to get him out of there.
Yes, I mean, that is a possible idea. We would need a highly concentrated point of arcana in space-time to be able to possibly overcome the magic that exists on the blade itself. It's not as simple as just pulling him out or wiggling him through, though fair enough, we have tried that in the past. But we need to actually overwhelm the magic that exists on the blade, but not to the point that it destroys the sword. Because if it destroys the sword, well, he dies with it. So far we have... Go ahead.
Not sure where destroying the sword came into play.
It is something that we have theorized. But the clay arm was quite meticulous when they crafted this item. Layers upon layers of arcane, concentric, runic sigils, constantly morphing and overlaying each other. If you break one, the other one covers for it, while the other one regenerates. It's an impossible field to break through. The only way we have so far come across that would be able to surmount and destroy all the glyphs at one time, thereby freeing Shoni from his prison, would be to also destroy the sword. Which would be too much. There is a small margin between total annihilation and failure to do anything successful that we have not yet successfully been able to get through. I don't know what you all uncovered in Akadon, but when we were there, we did not find anything beneficial to our needs. I appreciate that you have investigated summoning, though we have also tried that. Now that might play a portion in this grand schema, but it is not the only thing that is going to get him out of there.
Have you tried looking on the inside out?
No, because we cannot go to the inside. You can go to the inside. Frankly, I didn't even know that was possible. But we cannot go to the inside. The magic that is part of the sword particularly keeps Onis from traversing across the barrier.
How does his soul magic work? Is it just a him thing? Is it a thing all Onis can do?
I assume you mean and are referring to the process by which the blade can absorb souls for energy.
Is that the blade or is that him?
It is him through the blade, to my understanding. And that is a characteristic of most Onis that I am aware of. Of course, he is a little bit different as he is more... He is wiser, stronger, older, and frankly more powerful than any other Oni on its own. Obviously, that only held up to a certain extent, though, when he was ambushed by the clay arm.
When I was in there, most recently with Marek, not only was I able to bring him in there, when I was in there I was also able to let him and the soul of his brother leave as well. Could it be possible of some way doing the same to Shoney's?
Frankly, I don't know, but I imagine probably not. I feel like if he could just open whatever doors and just walk out, where exactly is he walking to is the first question. And second of all, if that is possible, why hasn't he done it before?
Because like you said, you didn't know you could even go inside of it. Plenty of stuff he didn't know he could do, and has only found out because of me.
Yes.
And I know y'all like being all cryptic, but you said I'm not fully attuned with him. Have y'all ever been fully attuned with him?
No.
Do you know how to go about that? Perhaps that could allow more control over the magics to release him.
Our understanding is that you do not have to merge, literally, nor via souls, but you, on a spiritual level, have to be in the same unison. You cannot contradict each other, you cannot counteract each other, you must act together, not as separate entities, but as one. But then again, that's just a theory. I don't know what you're going to do currently, because this is now all of our problems to deal with. I am trying not to be angry with you for acting in self-defense and doing what you believe is right. But I cannot deny that I am frustrated with your rash actions.
And I figured y'all all would be. In fact, if I'm quite honest, I expected to get a royal ass whooping from y'all.
What would that solve? We are not here to hurt you. Frankly, Vellmon, you are the second most important thing to all of us. Holding the most important thing.
Second fiddle to a sword. That was a joke, by the way.
I know.
Can Shoni merge with a soul? Not just absorb it, but become one with it?
We've never had a potential opportunity to try that. And I don't know quite how you'd go about doing that, because typically, my understanding of how souls work is if you put two together, they violently repel each other.
What if they're on the same understanding, spiritual, as you were saying just a moment ago?
I suppose anything's possible. We don't really know. And there are still plenty of pieces missing to the grand puzzle we're trying to solve. We just don't have enough information. And we have scoured Ilethia for bits and pieces of information that might be useful. Multiple civilizations across different ages, all of which have not been fruitful in our endeavors.
Just Ilethia?
Well, when we were on other planes, we have also visited those temporarily, but technically, Ilethia has been where we've spent the majority of our time.
Did you not say my father stole something from Avernus to help y'all in getting Shoni back?
Yes, and it ended up not being particularly helpful, though we thought it would be.
Did you not think about pursuing what was in there further? Why someone, you said Asmodeus as himself, was who he robbed?
No, it was Bell.
Okay, well, ever thought about searching more into Bell as to how he had something relating to Shoni?
Bell had a book of names, if you want to call it that, and it was practically everything that had ever been damned to hell, and theoretically, we were going to try to see if, being from the negative planes, we were damned in such a capacity, and Shoni particularly, and then try to reverse engineer that name from an arcane perspective. However, Shoni's name was not in the book. So it was a pointless endeavor. I mean, it was not pointless. I suppose it did help us rule out a theory, but it did not prove beneficial.
Johnny, you've been quiet.
I'm not quite sure what you want me to say.
I expect you to yell at me at the very least.
No, I don't think I will. I think Arel is right. If we pursue a spiritual connection, to a certain degree, by causing disdain between us, that would only inhibit that ability from forming. By stopping any actions that you take, it would also inhibit such. By sowing dissent amongst each other and combating the wills of one another, we push ourselves further away from a possible solution. I will not yell at you for what you did. Was it the wisest thing in the world? Probably not. But also, you did so with good intentions. And many times, we are made to take choices that have good intentions and yet bad outcomes. Very rarely are there opportunities to make choices with good intentions that always and only have good outcomes.
Rel, are you able to put that anti-clay arm magic box around me at like all times?
I can keep the magic for now, but I won't be able to keep it up forever.
How long?
I'll have to rest at some point, but probably 3 days. And then I suppose Lydia or Ellis could take over and we could just routinely swap out on each other. However, that would indispose one of us at all times. Which is fine if that is what is necessary in the given moment, but it is not a good long-term plan.
ideally, it wouldn't be long term, but when I go into Shoni, I am unaware of everything around me. I don't know it. I can't hear, feel anything that's going on until I leave. My body is defenseless. But if you put that magic around me, then they won't be able to see my particles, correct?
Yes, in a sense, that is correct.
So my best bet would be the long, deep meditation with Shoni, where I try to find every possible little crack, crevice, leverage point inside of there, and at the same time trying to spiritually bond with Shoni.
Our leading theories is that the clay arm built this weapon of a particular material found only, to my knowledge, on Guyana, though it is possible it exists in other planes, but it's a negatively charged type of steel. Technically, other planes could have it, or places on material realms that are particularly covered in negative energy. However, in order to overwhelm the existing magic, we actually need the opposite, and need something that is highly positively energetic to counteract and subdue the existing magics that exist on the blade. In order to do that, Lydia has come up with the notion that perhaps certain locations on the material realm might be beneficial to do that, though we have not identified any spots that fit that description as of yet. We have tried a few arcane nexus points when it existed, though I suppose it now exists again, though those were not beneficial. Akadon was one of them and was not helpful. So it has to be something else. We're just not quite sure what that is.
Are you talking positive energy as in happy-go-lucky, act like emotionally positive, or some abstract form of
Positivity.
existence?
Yes, positive energy, which would include energies of happiness and joy and life and things like that. Yes, but it is more of an abstract concept. It's very hard to understand. But also, that's not the only requirement. We also believe that you need to be merged at one and as one being, not physically, but on a spiritual level. And also, we believe that there are other components that are going to have to be involved in that process. A lot of moving parts, as you can imagine. And then just enough magic to overwhelm the presence of the magic on Shoni, but not too much to where that it destroys the blade that he is housed within. As you can assume, and we have all agreed upon, finding a place that has all of those factors perfectly and ornately lined up is almost impossible. Not impossible, obviously everything is possible to a certain extent. But the clay arm built this as a prison, and a very well designed prison at that.
Is the mountain, the highest peak in Phyrexia? There's always a rumor that during the festival, after the Zox festival, that there was weird magical occurrences around the mountain. And though I never saw them myself, my father had talked about, and many of the miners had talked about, that there was a inner chamber that was just covered in Arcanist gemstones, almost like the entire inside was like a stained glass painting that I don't know what these requirements are, but
I want to say your father had mentioned that at one point. That does sound familiar. But Arcanist gemstones are not nearly as powerful as the Arcane Nexus.
well, thing happens to the mountain every year when the Xerox star is overhead, and whether that's from the Arcanist gemstones, the sun itself, or a combination of all three, that could perhaps be a way. Arcanist gemstones amplify magic, and it's already some magical nonsense going on there.
Interesting.
You said you wanted to overload it, right?
I wonder if it's possible that we could capture the energy that you're describing and utilize that at whatever location we have to undo this at.
I mean, would that not be the location itself?
I don't think so, because it would need to be something rooted in the very core of Alethea.
Why specifically Alethea?
Well, it doesn't have to be, but every world has a core element of some degree, a certain principle or alignment or energy that it follows or obeys that commands the existence of that realm. At the heart would be the heart of that realm, and that would theoretically be enough energy to overwhelm it. Alethea, though, is unique in that it seems that the heart of the planet is kind of all over the place and bouncing around, which is the Arcane Nexus to our understanding. But if we could focus a portion of the Nexus in a particular location, it's possible that we could accomplish something. But I just don't know where that location is. I imagine Phyrexia, to my knowledge, has not been here forever, so I don't even think Phyrexia has an Arcane Nexus node.
I mean, I don't know what the Arcane Nexus and the nodes. Does that mountain not sound like one? But even then, Altrix has these giant floating balls from Akadon that basically just focus a shit ton of energy into one spot, which is why we did shoot down a moon and then unshot it down.
Interesting.
So
I would be quite interested in looking into that, whatever you're describing. I did not know that existed. When we were in Akadon, we were not aware of such things, so if we could possibly look into that, that might be helpful.
Well, if you stopped and smelled the brimstone, then maybe you would have seen a few things in there.
Oh, we were very much aware the moon was falling, but...
Oh, and you just didn't think about that. Also, I wasn't talking about that. I was just... Never mind.
Well, the only way to inconspicuously maintain this illusion that you are not really here, and we can mask yourself temporarily at least, is to trade out who will spend time with you, I suppose, in your immediate vicinity. But that could obviously become very strange to most people. So I suppose we'll have to resort to a more Oni-based tactic. And Lydia nods, understanding what Aurel is referencing, and lights a torch in this chamber, which has been basically almost pitch black the entire time you've been here, enough that you are casting a shadow from behind the light, and Aurel steps into your shadow and vanishes.
Are you just standing behind me, or what? Your footsteps stopped.
He is not quite reachable in this particular instance. He is more or less part of you. At least part of your shadow. And he will remain such for, I guess, 30 days.
So does that make me super old now?
No, this is not how that works. You better find something that works quick. Because again, like Aurel suggested, this is not a permanent plan.
Yes, I'm aware. I was here for the conversation.
We know. But the longer we wait unattended, the more opportunity we have for you to be located. So it's best we start doing this immediately.
How fast can y'all travel?
It depends on where we are going.
Phyrexia.
We could teleport there. It would take a bit of energy to do that, but...
Could one of you when you're not, like maybe now, go back to, or go to Phyrexia and investigate that mountain, see what you can find, and come back, switch out shifts, kind of do that a little bit. Have like one of you there doing that, one of you here on standby, and then one in my shadow.
Possible. Though that would take away from our endeavors here, but I suppose in the given situation we might have to adjust. Follow-up question though, too. You said this is the Zoax star, correct?
Yes.
So that is a star in the Alithian night sky, which would then project a beam of light down and hit something, and then reflect up onto the mountain. What is it beaming off of? What is causing this light connection?
I'm not sure. As far as I know, it's always happened, but there, in honor or a celebration of my father's feats, there was a statue or sculpture of the Zoax star put in the town square.
Interesting.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It's the only reflective, light beaming thing I could think of.
Interesting. You said you had a librarian, yes, who could look into this?
Yes.
Perhaps have them look into this phenomenon that you are describing. I will go take a look at what is going on. My mother will stay here, and Aurel will protect your shadow. And we will kind of intersperse with each other as every couple of days that is necessary. At least for now, though, that is all we're probably going to accomplish.
Let's start now.
Try not to get us all killed. Or yourself.
No promises, but I'll try.
I appreciate it. Have a good night, Rancor. Vellmon, sorry. Still adjusting to the name change.
It's fine. Best
And
of
the two
luck.
of them vanish, and the torchlight also vanishes. Alright, and we return back to the coastal chateau here in the city of Provonere. As night comes, all of you can take a long rest if that is necessary for your character sheet. And as morning comes the next day, I suppose we'll find out what Marigold Burrows has to say and what next is in store for the coastal chateau on next week's episode of Arcane Adventures. But until then, the adventure does in fact continue, and we will see you next time. Have a good night.